It's all in my head. 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 This ain't about you. It's all in your head. You hear them talking, think they want you dead. It's all in your head. 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 This ain't about us. It's all in my head.
And starting on time for the first time
Right now.
for episode 10 of Magic After Dark. Hi, hello, I'm your host. Joining me today, of course, is the fantastic, my co-host, Mr. Joshua Warren. Give it up for Josh, folks. Okay, enough clapping.
It's 1:31.
So we're a little bit behind,
cool.
but whatever. We were on
1
time
minute
for my actual clock.
Yeah.
That's what matters. This is my clock.
Mm-hmm.
The world clock can get in line. All right. So once again, I have been running around like a madman because today we had our Magic Afternoon show, which I think went really well until Moto bugged out on us.
Yeah.
And we had set up early for that. We had some technical difficulties, and we fixed it on the fly. Then we had our show, of course. Then after that, we had to fly. We had to go pick up ice cream and pizza for the party that we were throwing for the Modern players tonight, which we'll talk about later on. But that was a huge success. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
But it was still crazy to get all done.
50 people at the store? Playing Modern?
51 total.
I would have played if I had time, but I didn't.
I know. You were so helpful helping me shell out ice cream to everybody, so that was really nice.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that later. But we had that today. That wrapped up. We had to do our final touches, and then you had to prepare the notes for the show while I got all this stuff set up and the postings out into the world.
Yeah.
So it's been a busy day for us.
Yeah, it has.
So I have no idea what's coming down the pipeline. That's all on Mr. Joshua Warren here.
Listen, I got plenty of pipe for you tonight. So. You'll be just fine.
Oh, go fuck yourself. So, let's start off the episode introducing our new sponsor.
Our new sponsor is
Mr. Sean Darrow. So this episode is brought to you in part by Mr. Sean Darrow, a local Magic player, one of our limited players here.
Yep.
His sponsorship today is several liquid courages.
Augatuck Brewing Company.
So cheers, 10 episodes.
To 10 episodes.
Which I think leads us right into our...
That's like a decade of episodes with you. A literal
you
decade.
You ain't wrong. I feel 100 years older
People are
with
like,
you
"Man,
around.
How do you... Chris gets really ornery sometimes.
You see this?
He's like a...
You see this fucking silver and gray? You catch that shit?
He's like a 70-year-old baby grandpa.
Some of that is you.
And I'm like,
Some of that is you.
know?
Anyways, that leads right into our first topic, I believe, yeah?
Yeah, who's on top? Always who's on top.
It is who's on top. And on top this week is Wizards of the Coast.
I think that's going to be the first and last time Wizards of the Coast will ever be on top.
Nah, they'll be on top. They'll be on top again.
I don't think so.
If they'll stop doing things that make me think that they're more like Konami, they'll be on top again. But yeah, they're on top. And they're on top because of their updates to the alcohol and age restriction policies. Again, cheers.
Cheers.
So this is a topic that I can talk about for a little while. I know it's a topic that you can talk about for a little while. I think I should start, then you can argue with me.
Yeah, I would love. I just like we talked about this, not at length today, but how the policy. Chris was excited to talk about it tonight. But how the policy is gonna actually change. It's not gonna change a lot in Magic, but no, it's really not. It's just gonna be a blip. But it's really neat to see. I guess the progression of alcohol in the game and them supporting it. Yeah. So go ahead, Chris. Let's hear what you have to say about it.
Okay. Well, first I want to point out how excited this guy is about the policy.
This guy's fucking pumped. Look at that.
There's one problem with this photo that they took. They shopped out the Rolling Rock that he was holding in his hand. Yeah. Because he's not offering a concession here. He's offering, hey, would you like this drink? And give me the win. And then he got DQ'd for collusion. That's how that works out.
Really? Are you prepping for Judge's Corner right now?
No. Don't offer anybody a beer legitimately now.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you can do that. You'd be like, dude, if you scooped me.
If you just scooped me, I'll get you anything from the bar. We'll go do some shots together. Collusion, DQ.
Jaeger bombs on me.
Jaeger bombs.
All the Jaeger bombs.
They
on me.
Car bombs. Anyways, let's talk about the policy before I get into my opinions on the policy.
Sure.
So, effective July 23rd, they're updating their policies, and it says that the WPN policies do not prohibit serving or consuming alcohol at DCI-sanctioned events, including in-play spaces, and organizers may now restrict events by age. Notice that these are two separate things. This is the drinking policy is changing to it's okay now. We're putting the ball in your court, and organizers may now restrict events by age. I think that these are definitely two separate things, but I think that part of this goes hand in hand. We'll go down to the actual policy real quick here. So the new terms and conditions do not prohibit serving or consuming alcohol at sanctioned event, including the play spaces. WPN members must comply with applicable laws, regulations, all that stuff, permits, drinking age. WPN members may fail to maintain a family. God, I can't speak today.
It's family friendly.
Thank you.
That is actually the key here.
Yes, a family-friendly environment or retail hobby focus, or those that violate applicable laws may be removed from the WPN. The other last thing here is that note this change includes beers, wines, spirits, so your liquors and stuff like that, and applicable off-site play locations. But remember that Wizards reviews all off-site locations and will continue to refuse places like bars and tobacco lounges.
Wait, hold on. So you can't play spirits anymore if you're going to be drinking?
I hate you so much.
Fuck you.
Anyways, so the key here is that, yes, now you are allowed to drink, serve, and consume alcohol on-site in an event, whatever, play area, that kind of stuff. And also, you can have age-restricted events. So you could have a juniors tournament. You could have a 15 and under or 14 and under tournament. for those kids. And I think that's a fantastic idea. I think that's the best thing to come out of this. Not because I think that cutting the communities in any way, shape, or form is a good thing. I think that at like a GP or something like that, maybe a hesitant parent that's like reluctant to get their kids to interact with a bunch of random adults and stuff like that, and they're worried about having to be at the table. I feel like there's probably a lot of parents that are much more likely to go to an event, take their young child, and say, I want my kid to build other social skills with other kids, and I want them to interact with other kids so that, you know, when they go back into their school or something like that, they feel more confident and they're able to talk to people and build those relations and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's pretty far down the pipeline.
So
yeah.
I think that kind of stuff is fine. What I have a problem with here, and it's not the alcohol, because I think that consuming alcohol in a, what did we say, a very responsible manner is totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's not... I've been to events where it's been like, hey, Josh, you want to go grab a beer? We're doing horrible. And it's like, yeah, man, I would love to grab a beer in between rounds. And, like, people who go grab beers, like... They're not getting belligerent. They're not getting DQ'd, or, you know what I'm saying? They're not...
Generally, there are the horror stories.
Sure,
there are the horror stories, and this I think opens up
that?
for more.
Like 1%.
Yes, I agree, but I think that this opens up for a little bit more. I think that maybe makes it 2%.
2%.
Right.
Okay.
But those kind of things, when they happen, they're big and huge. We
Sure.
heard Gavin talk about earlier being at an event at a location in Ohio where two guys weren't drinking, but they stood up and they started like pushing each other and then like
arguing, fighting
for no fucking reason. Like they're just being big babies. Like you can't trust them to sit down and play a card game together, and you're gonna start throwing liquor into the mix.
Yeah, well, if you're throwing alcohol into the mix, like a lot of times, like people that are going to be drinking too much alcohol at these events are going to be guys that already have problems, that already have issues, that are bringing that to the game. So, you know, they might be doing that with any...
But we're all a bunch of nerds with issues, right? We all have issues. We're all bringing issues to the game. That's the one thing that I have found in the Magic the Gathering communities is that we actually all share this thing that none of us really talk about. In what some way, shape, or form, Magic is our escape from some type of bullshit in our life.
Yeah, sure.
And it really is that thing that really can connect us.
Yeah, it's like I told you before. It's like if you're in a bowling league, or if you're in like you double dip, you have knitting on the weekend. So, I mean, if you do knitting or whatever.
I don't have time for knitting. There's ballet and swim class with Ryan Kendall.
Okay. Yeah, so, okay, I think the one, like, positive thing to take from this is that it's like what I talked about this afternoon was that if you spin this in a positive manner...
Spin the top.
Yeah, if you spin it in a positive manner, like, so I talked to you and I said, okay, what if you had, you know, a night where you had alcohol, where it's just 21 and over, right? And so let's say that you took, in order to support, you know, what Wizards is doing, but you don't make it like negative, like, hey, come on, everybody, let's get fucking hammered and play Magic.
Every time you fucking win, you take a shot, and every time you lose, you take 2 shots.
We got a kegger outside, let's get ripped. Like, yeah, I mean...
Now, there are stupid people that are already kind of saying that kind of thing.
Sure, of course.
Like,
a lot of these guys...
That's not going to happen, go away.
No, and so... But what you can do with this is you could do a positive thing, and maybe you can have a 21 and over night, and you can make it to where it's like, okay... Hey guys, we're gonna donate the money, the proceeds tonight to like Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Richie, get off your feet. Sit down. We'll introduce you in a little bit here. Not here. You grab a chair over there. You're not gonna ruin it. I just don't want him to tire himself out.
All right, so
bring a chair over. Sit over there.
So you can do things like donate donate those winnings to Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Fantastic idea. We gotta find a day to do this.
Yeah, and maybe you can have some of those mothers, on tap.
A little bit.
You can have some of those moms on tap.
Moms on tap, like serving kind of thing.
Yeah, you can have some of those moms on tap to maybe give some rides home if somebody's had a couple extra beers.
So like we said before, if all the issues with alcohol in Magic is about 1%, right? It's this really negligible thing.
Sure.
And now it's 2%. I'm fine with that. It's completely negligible. It's not a big deal. Yeah. I have no issue with the alcohol. I have no issue with running these 21 and up kind of events that are like designated toward like BYOB. Everybody's gonna have a fun time and this kind of thing. Blah blah blah.
So
my problem is that when you're gonna have these alcohol events, I feel like the two things the alcohol and the age restricted, I think that then becomes not two separate things, but one thing. And you have to say, well, because this is a BYOB or we're serving at this event because we got a temporary liquor license or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Then you have to exclude the 21 and under, or I'm sorry, the 20 and under.
Yeah, but that's okay.
But see, I do not like the idea.
I know you don't want the exclusion, but
I don't want to exclude because you got the young kids. You got I don't know how old the Gavin and Brandon Stuck and Jake, all of them, those guys like. But like I know that they're like on that edge.
So you're saying
and
like,
I wouldn't want
you wouldn't want Richie being able to play in the event and drink beer, and then like guys that ride together, they're like, oh, I'm 20, I'm not 21 until. But listen,
right, or even be able to play in the event at all.
But you have to understand like. There's certain events that people just can't play in. They can't make it for. So it's
this
just
might not
like,
be allowed on Twitch. We'll find out. I just thought about that.
You just turn it around. So you make those events to where, you know, like, hey, it's 21 and up, and then hey guys, we're gonna do next month we're gonna have an event for 20 and under.
See, I don't like that either because now you're excluding the 21 up.
There's nothing wrong with that, Chris.
I'm saying
once a month is okay, or once every quarter you can do stuff like that. I'm gonna tell that
to Julia. Anyways, there's the smile. I don't like the exclusion factor. I like everything about this. I don't like the exclusion factor. The age restriction stuff. Junior stuff has failed in the past. It just doesn't work when you are strictly saying like your kids cannot play in this event. I'm okay if you have like a GP again is my go-to example of your kids are welcome to play in the main event, or if you would like, they can sign up for a juniors league, which is 20 and under or 16 and under, something like that, and they can play with more of their peers, kind of in a guaranteed thing. Like you don't exclude them. You say, we're giving you an extra option. I'm totally on board with that.
Okay.
I don't necessarily like the exclusion of this is a 21 and up event, so everybody else, I'm sorry, you're not welcome here. I don't like that in Magic. I don't like the you're not welcome here. Right. But I love your idea of Mothers Against Drunk Driving and doing a charity thing, and I want to put that together, Josh. I really do. I think that that's fantastic.
You don't have time for that.
Don't you start with me. Don't you tell me how much time I have. Okay, so that's the new policy. We're
excited.
Where
cheers.
it's at.
Cheers to everybody.
Cheers to that 100%, because I think it's a good change. I just have some issues with it. Okay. Some issues that maybe couldn't be worked out. We'll see.
Sure.
Okay, so are we moving on to the next thing?
We are.
Where are we at?
We're going into Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce. Oh, we're jumping right into it.
Yeah, we are.
First place.
So
Red Black Aggro.
Yeah, who's on top of it? I know. I had to show you this.
I wonder who has been doing a weekly podcast show and has been talking about what's the best deck in Standard for, let's see, 11 weeks now, because today's the 10th episode, but we had that vacation week off for 4th of July.
Sure.
But every single week, I swear to God, we have said that Red Black Aggro is the deck to be playing.
Egg roll. Egg roll. All right, so what do we got in this top list that you don't really see?
Let's see.
In Worcestershire. Grand or SCG Worcestershire.
You got two Phoenixes in the main, which is really interesting, because like Phoenix at Nationals felt really bad.
Okay.
Because everybody, like, I felt like Phoenix should have just been Carrie Zev's expertise, just steal their Phoenix, hit them kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the Phoenix just seems so bad because everybody knew exactly what to do against it, and they just always had it. Had it.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
You have no fucking idea. There's two Spire of Industry. That's kind of interesting. I don't know that that's necessary.
It's nuts.
Because you got these, you still got the artifact creatures, but that's interesting.
Okay.
A Braid, a License, 2 Heart. There's a Cut to Ribbons in the main. Ooh. What else we got? Vraska's Attempt is not always found.
Ooh, Arugula's Blood. That sounds delicious.
Arugula. Damn it, Josh.
You only have that on the 21 and plus days.
Nice, Richie.
Ooh, they reprinted Banefire?
Yes,
No.
Yes, Banefire is back in Standard. Yes, and that's what I was looking for here, and I was like, oh, it's in the sideboard. There's only one. Wait till we get rotation.
Yeah.
I think this Banefire should easily be a 2 of. It might even be worth getting rid of the cut ribbons for it or something.
Just so you can X out and just blast their face for like 5 or 6.
Good. You pay this for fucking 4. It's fine. You pay it for 5.
It's
whatever.
a lightning bolt.
A lightning bolt. We know a thing or two about those today. But yeah, the Argos Bloodfast is interesting as well. I don't see this too often because it just doesn't seem to perform all that great. Yeah. But yeah, this is fantastic. This is Matthew. How do you say this name? Are you Kotroop?
McConaughey.
Yeah, McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. Put your shirt on, buddy.
All right, so let's please God get off a standard. Let's go to modern.
We're in modern.
Something I know.
We got Snapcaster, Teferi, Josiah Love, bunch of lands, Cryptics, Electrolytes. That's
one too many electrolyzes.
That's one too many electrolyzes.
That's two many electrolyzes.
No, you can play one electrolyze. I'm surprised to see two though. I really am.
Disagree.
I really am. There's only 3 bolts.
Like, why don't you just run a fourth bolt in one electrolyze?
Hold on. I know this guy took first place. I know he did, but this is wrong. You can't play 3 Logic Knot. That's not right.
Yeah, that's the number.
No, you don't play more than 2, and I hate 2.
Hey, secure the waste.
We
got blown out by that card a few days, last week?
It just was hitting us for like 3 or something, right?
Yeah.
It was hitting us for like 2 or 3.
We still got blown out by it.
Secure the waste is good, is what I mean.
Thank God somebody's playing stuff.
Here's the real powerhouse. This card is what makes blue decks good or playable in modern or control.
Teferi and Search for Ass Cancer is
Teferi
rough.
Definitely boosts it, but this card on its own, I'm telling you, is just fucking house.
What's in the sideboard? Nothing new.
There's that. I like that they split that 1 and 1. Yeah, I like that.
That's fine.
Damn.
We got a D-stroke in the sideboard. Look at that. I like that.
Verdant mana costs 4 or greater. I wonder what they're trying to hit all the time.
Tron.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're right.
Yeah. I mean,
who wants to just play the colorless one and cover your bases for affinity then? Counter target colorless spell.
Maybe.
This also counters Scape Shift, says Richie Thompson, but so does Negate and everything else in the deck, so that's not unique enough.
A Worm Coil Engine. Or Primeval Titan.
Richie's a madman. There's a Settle,
or Storm Breath Dragon.
2 Surgical, Wear Terror, Lyra. People should be playing more Storm Breath Dragons. V-Click, and a Timely.
Hey, can you click on Lyra? I'd like to read Lyra. That's a standard card, so I don't know what the fuck it does.
Let's get the fuck away from standard. What's the standard card do? I like to read this here.
Flying, first strike, lifelink. Other angels you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink.
Why aren't there was standard legal?
Why aren't there other? Yeah. Why aren't there other angels in this deck?
What?
Nothing.
Other angels?
Yeah.
Oh, because you don't give a fuck about that. She's just a cool base layer on her own. Good night, Chris.
Yeah, she is. First strike, lifelink. I'm good with that.
So we got somebody plays calling us nerds, and then we got Krugar, who was giving us advice earlier in our Magic Afternoon show, and that was fantastic. He had some good fucking plays. He says you should check out Nikolich's last Jeskai list. Played no cantrips and 3 Electrolyze. That seems really ballsy. Really ballsy.
Nikolich
I don't know how to get to that.
Nikolich, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Nikolich is the new godfather of Jeskai.
Is he?
He is.
That's pretty fucking cool. He's got a fucking godfather-y kind of name.
Yeah, well, it used to be Shinhar.
Shenhar. I love him. He's great.
Nikolich is
2-time back-to-back world champion.
Nikolich is like, he's like the SCG All-Star. So
I'm gonna burn you. I think he's talking about the wrong guy. I think about the dude that beat me at in Louisville. Moving on.
All right, so something that I love to talk about is Legacy.
Ooh, we gotta talk about our Legacy with our special guest today.
Yep, we've already got that in there, baked in there, baked into the credits.
Storm, baby.
Bryant Cook. I don't know why he's got a T at the end of his name, but you know, whatever, it's fine. You can just be a Brian.
He's a Bryant.
He's a Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever. Bryant.
So he's playing Ad Nauseam. He's playing some Storm action. This was something that people said.
James T. There's a lot of James T's.
Hey, this is something that people said. Oh, G-Probe's gone. This deck is dead.
Oh, that was this deck, wasn't it?
What happened? Storm took first place in the
LED.
Team Open. Isn't that weird?
What did he add?
They went to empty only.
Yeah, so they're just gonna beat you down with gobos.
The epic.
Richie, you wait your turn, Richie. Is that all they added, though? We'll talk about that when we get to Richie.
Yeah, they added Xanthid Swarm.
Whatever.
Just joking.
We'll talk to Richie.
It's always been there.
Talk to Richie.
Past and Flames Tendrils.
Because we can talk about that for Legacy as well.
So it's really cool that Storm's on top. I'm pretty excited about that.
Too many emotes, Emaston. Which is probably let's see. Oh god, that's fucking Anthony Nazzaro telling us how to fucking play shit is the Kruger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then James T, scrub that never shows up anymore. There's a lot of James T's. You got to be a little bit more specific there.
All right, Richie.
All right, what's next? What's there? Where
Yeah,
we at? We got Richie.
Yeah, we got
special
Richie.
guest. All right, so we gotta go. No, don't you, dude? You sit your butt down, boy.
You got props?
We gotta go. Yeah, well, not really, but
What do you got? Special guest. I like
special guest. Here we go. Special guest time. Bringing in the one, the only,
the biggest
Pro Tour. Richie Thompson. I like your little intro walk. That was good, Richie. That was
I love
good.
you.
That was good. So,
A little finesse in there.
why the hell is Richie our special guest? Like, I thought we only had like pros, like Lance Schultz on our team, or on our thing, right? I love you, Lance.
All I gotta say is you guys have had baby Richie Thompson on quite a bit.
we have.
Is that like baby days?
You
Send
know
me a
who
big
we're called?
Richie Thompson
Josiah?
on.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Josiah's becoming Richie.
Yeah, for weeks and weeks and weeks, we've just been like
Hope he
Josiah.
just
We always
skips
talk
the getting
about
fat
him.
part.
Yeah, we're gonna.
He's
put,
on a diet now,
He is,
too.
he's on keto. Fuck you,
beautiful.
Josiah, you fat ass. We still love you, man.
Richie is the Pro Tour? Yeah, he is the Pro Tour. He is
All right,
everything
so
about
I'm
the Pro
big
Tour.
enough to
be a Pro Tour.
Including the draft portion.
Richie, you guys be quiet. Let me say something nice about
Nobody,
Richie.
no.
All right, this is the one and only time this is gonna happen. So Richie, when he was a young little whipsnap years ago,
When
Richie,
I
how
was
many?
a young
Richie, how many
warthog.
times have you beat Daddy in Magic, in competitive Magic?
Maybe once, if that.
How many times have we played?
5.
All right, so
All right, let the
Listen.
record show.
listen.
So
That
what
means
card are you
that
gonna
means
start
zero.
putting on my
I'm
wall?
complete dog shit. Okay? So, but Richie's grown so much as a player, and we love
We're
that.
proud
And
of you,
he's
Richie.
our
You're good. Good.
he's our biggest yokel local. We talk about him, you know.
Local yokel.
Yeah, he is.
Yokel local.
I'm a local
He's a
yokel.
local yokel.
He's a yokel local.
No, he's
Yeah, he's the number one.
your tongue got so lazy
I know.
there that it fucking flipped the
Yeah,
shit.
I love it. So, Richie, we're proud of you, and that's why we want to have you on.
I appreciate
and,
it.
you're
Glad I can finally make it.
Yeah, thank you. So, okay. So, what have you been doing lately with events wise? This is my number one question for you.
So really right now I'm just really like focusing on trying to grind and prepare the most for Grand Prix Detroit coming up soon.
GP Detroit.
I'm really
That's something we're
excited.
gonna talk about.
I've had my team locked for, probably since they announced the Grand Prix schedule.
Who is it?
I have me, Sebastian Payne, also known as Seabass,
Bass, love that guy.
and Steven, better known as Abe Lincoln Bear.
I love him.
Abe Lincoln
Yeah, because you
Bear.
guys. So we were at BC Comics and Games in Howell, Michigan this weekend, and
Howell.
we played against you.
Yeah.
I hope
And
it's the right event
the only
that I
reason
pulled.
that we lost was because in Game 3
Do you flood boy?
I played against Stephen Abe Bearer, and Game 3 I went to top deck my lightning bolt and go upstairs,
Was Abe on humans?
and I drew.
Abe was in fact on humans.
I drew a Goblin Guide, and Goblin Guide doesn't go upstairs. He goes downtown.
He tries to get under, but it turns out
does.
the humans are at the gate.
Yeah.
Goblin guy likes to go down.
The Mantis
So-
Rider goes upstairs.
So
towards the
what
Goblin
we
Guide.
were at what table 72 out of like 15 tables, and we lost to you. So
That doesn't seem good.
It was
or
actually,
accurate.
I'm actually pretty sure it was table 20. The very
How
last
many
table.
people did they have? I'm actually interested in that.
We had
40
40 teams.
40 teams,
So
I could-
120.
That's pretty good. That's great. Very
Especially
good.
for a 32 team cap.
They're in the new space, right?
Yeah.
So you finally got
great
to
story.
go.
I did. I took some pictures.
Is it more spacious? Oh, I don't
I
have
send you
those.
the pictures?
No, you didn't send me those
It
pictures.
is not. It's more
the
spacious
current
than
layout.
BCW or
BCW, BC Comics.
BC Comics was.
Sure.
All right, so
not more
I'll
spacious
send you
than
those
Bandit.
pics while Richie talks about. All right, so
Well,
Richie.
hold on. Before you get Richie, because I have a question from the audience here.
Oh, what?
Is Richie, tell them the deck you played in Band when you first discovered Magic.
Oh god.
Do you remember what you played back in Band?
I don't remember my first
I
deck.
hope it
but
had
the
a
deck that
trumpet.
like
You give me the fucking
the
photos.
deck that really like I remember is I played a Jace tribal deck.
What instrument did you play in band?
Trombone. So you
Tromboner.
know, big tuba or a big trumpet.
A big trumpet?
A big trumpet.
Oh, so one of the things where it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know what a
exactly.
trombone is, dude?
I wasn't
Does he
in
look
band.
like
You have some problems.
I was in
He was
band.
the
in,
guys that be at the football games drinking beers behind the bleachers.
Excuse me.
without a
That was
hose.
good.
Without- I don't know how many. Like actual hose, yeah, Josh. You know.
Ring ding dong.
All right, so now you want to ask Richie how he's preparing for the events that he's been playing,
so
including
like-
GP Detroit.
yeah,
and with who are you doing testing? You keep doing that. I can read the screen too.
Yeah, so a lot of my testing that's been going around has been between just like me and all my friends. You know, obviously I'm here.
Name drop.
I practice a lot with Gavin Kokenauer. He literally, like, if you want the spice, he's the guy. He will find like the most unknown deck that is secretly like the best, if not the second best deck.
I like to get my spice from Gavin and Tilk, and then mix it past Donovan, and then
Donovan
it comes
is.
out.
I will like
right.
say this with like no challenge. Donovan is probably one of the smartest Magic players I have ever met, including when I went to the Pro Tour.
Yeah,
That man is a genius.
I love Donovan. He's great.
Donovan Abraham.
There's a reason we called him Mr.
I swear to God,
Delver.
if you send me some shit
Just
photos again, I'm gonna be so mad at you.
I'm
Don't
sending you
be
the top
trolling.
8.
Don't you troll me.
I assume I already know where they're.
No, I won't. I'm sending you the top 8.
Man, Richie's so loud.
All right, so yeah, I love
know.
it.
I
So
tried.
all right, so now my next question
Isn't Tilk going to the Pro Tour? He is. Tilk is queued for the Pro Tour.
Oh yeah,
I'm hoping to get back there myself.
yeah.
You'll get there.
You'll definitely get there, man. All right, so what do you got for us with the SCG Legacy event? Please tell us about the SCG Legacy
Bitch, you
event.
trolling motherfucker.
I didn't send
You
that.
sent me. Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Okay. So is this the final one? Do you want me to send this? Before you go into that, let me do these photos. Yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
this was the BC event this weekend.
This was the team final standings?
This was the team final standings, and you
Is
will
that Chad
see.
K, Matt Stafford, and Nick Norman?
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
on top.
Fuck
We
yeah!
had a lot of this kind of
If you
coincides
look
with our
like
local
right
yokels.
there, almost
but,
right in the middle, you'll see my team.
I see a bunch of losers here. I don't know where,
so Richie finished 18th.
where are you at?
Wait, no, you didn't,
No.
Richie. Oh, you finished 17th.
17th.
Bear, Thompson, and Payne.
Yeah.
All right, so right down here in 34th
Oh,
place.
I see you. Warren, Novak, and why does it say unknown?
But
is his name in there unknown still?
His name was too long to fit.
let's just make it known.
Yeah.
You did not get last, which is what mattered.
I didn't.
Yeah.
And you didn't get first, so that's the same as last,
Exactly.
Ricky.
Ricky. So let me
let
see.
kids
Let me
talk to me
let
that
me
way?
just see real quick names that I quickly recognize too.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I didn't know Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford was here tonight.
Mr. As we were talking about, Mr. Grixis Delver was in that top 8. Oh, you're underneath top 8.
Is this Zach Allen here? This Allen?
Yeah, Zach Allen.
What did he play?
He played Humans. I actually played against him. And
Interesting.
Yeah, he was on Humans.
he 2-0'd me
So actually, like,
on a Moldify.
As
kind
he
of
should.
small funny story about this event. I actually faced Allen's team round
There's your
1.
winners right there. Look at that.
And going into round 1, I see that Steve is sitting across from Zach. So I whisper into Steve's ear, I'm like, get ready, you're going to be against...
Hey, girl, who's got your
You're going to be
dance
against
card?
either Jeskai, Jund, you're against some type of mid-range deck. Mm-hmm. So he draws his 7. Steve was on Humans. It's
Humans.
Champion, Kitesail Freebooter, Phantasmal Image, Aether Vial, then 3 lands. So, like,
Man, this knowledge on this kid.
hand is great
Memory.
if you know Zach Allen. Like, if you're not against, like, a mid-range control deck, hand's all right. You know, it has play, but it's not great.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, Steve goes turn 1, Champion Pass, and then Zach draws and goes turn 1 Vial.
Turn 1
And I just
Vial.
sit there and I'm like, oh no, Steve, I'm sorry.
So Zach threw you for a complete loop because
Yeah,
he
like-
wasn't playing his normal go-to, which is either mid-range or
and
control.
here's something that I talked to Richie about. Actually, Richie, this is cool because this is a serious conversation that we had afterwards. And you still, I want to say first and foremost, you disagreed with Daddy, which is fine. It's okay. But so they went into the match, and he said, okay. He said, Abe, you're playing against Zach Allen. He's got to be on control.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch, kind of
So
thing. You gotta know
and
before you call it, baby.
Now Richie said, okay, well, and I said to him, well, what if you're sitting across from Caleb Schur? Is he automatically going to be on Storm? 90%.
Absolutely, yeah.
90% of the time he's going to be on Storm, right? Or 95% of the time. Are we going to bring it up to 99? Let's bring it up to 99.
We'll take it up.
So, but when you're sitting against somebody that's probably not at that stature, do they always have to be?
Zach switches it up because he'll play like,
I am not down.
taxes
I'm not
downplaying
him.
I'm not saying Zach is
player.
Zach's great. Oh yeah.
He's a great player.
There's a reason.
But he switches it up though. He switches it up.
Correct. He switches it up. So I think when you're evaluating your openers, okay, and I believe this wholeheartedly that when you're gonna evaluate your opener, you don't look at your opponent, okay? You look at your hand and you say,
not in the dark. I agree.
okay, but should you be looking at your opponent? Should you be like, this guy's got a Goblin Guide playmat? He's got to be on fucking turn.
I agree with you.
Every single time you start a match, you should look at your hand and say, this has got several good cards that are good against the field, good against multiple decks. I don't know what this guy's on for sure, but I want to keep this hand because it can be good against multiple decks.
I agree with you when it's blind, when you don't know what you're playing against. And you shouldn't look at your opponent, you shouldn't look at what their playmat or whatever and try to guess at it. Richie played the odds, and they came up bad.
But what I'm trying to tell
That's exactly
Richie,
what Josh is saying.
Yeah, what I'm saying. Yeah.
I agree.
But
what is happening here?
No, what I'm saying.
But
you're
you
always
two
wrong.
are agreeing. That's what's happening, Chris.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you're trying to argue with Josh.
I'm not.
Agreeing.
I'm
always
not.
trying to argue with me.
I'm
Grandpa,
I'm literally
Frankie,
not.
You're up too late.
Don't start, boy. Don't
So,
start.
for anybody out there that's playing at a competitive level, that's playing at even a local level that's still competitive, evaluate your hand in the dark. Say, is this good? Am I going to get there with this? I mean, I do it on Moto. I look at my hand and I go, there's 12 damage here. Mm-hmm. I can't beat a fucking infant. Mm-hmm. Playing with all lands. I die to anything here. I got to mull this hand. I think you should look at every single deck like that, or every single player like that.
I'm so happy that you did Judge's Corner this week.
So I agree.
I was just like, yes, Josh, that's right. If you're going in blind,
let's hear,
you're going in
Richie,
blind.
why do you disagree with this?
So I think part of the thing about Magic is being able to say, like, oh, you, like, I think you gain certain percentage points. And sure,
You're right,
you
Anthony.
take that risk of being able to lose some percentage points if you're wrong. But there's a marginal percentage higher chance of, oh, this person week in and week out plays, like, Jeskai,
A type
John.
of deck.
Yeah, a style of deck. I'm not saying based it off a playmat. A playmat can mean anything.
Yeah,
It can just be the player.
But a player, like, when you look into their history, if you see, like, if you look into Zach Allen, I haven't done this, so I don't want to, like, 100% confirm, but I would be willing to bet most of his top 8s are with some form of control deck.
I agree. I think so.
So I
that.
don't think it's so far-fetched to...
No, you're playing.
Okay.
You're playing the odds. I get it.
And I agree.
That's like somebody saying, "Hey, bub, you want to roll my Tarmogoyf dice to
But
see who goes first?"
I'm gonna tie this. I'm gonna tie this in. I'm gonna tie this with what Anthony said in the chat here. So Richie, you sit down against Josh Thompson, round 1 of a modern event, local modern event. Do you know what he's playing, or do you know your odds of what he's playing?
I know the odds.
You know the odds. Anthony sits down against Josh today, doesn't know exactly what he's playing, says he tanked for like 3 minutes, which is an extension, whatever. It's extra. It's not what he... Trying to think of what land to play against Josh because he didn't want to fetch shock and then turn out that he's on Jeskai. Because Jeskai and blue-white, oh no, it was you? He says he means Josh Warren. He would never play fucking Jeskai. He doesn't know what to fucking do.
He's played
I've actually
Jeskai.
played Jeskai multiple
Sexy
weeks.
bearded
Yeah.
devil. No, you have no fun. No, we're moving on.
We've thrown people for a loop for that.
Okay,
actually.
moving on. So, some photos from the event, and these are pretty good so far, Josh.
Thank you.
I can immediately see this is your winning team. This is Chad K, shout out, Matt Stafford, shout out, and Nick Norman.
The
Nick,
Elves player.
He was playing Elves?
I don't think so.
No,
No,
he's playing Dredge,
Did they-
right? Nick
Yeah.
the Devil Norman.
Did they win the event, or was that
It was a
just
split.
going into...
the top 2. I think the top 2 or top 3 teams split. Some
Thing
shit
is
like
killing
that.
me.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But the image you had was going into top 8. I don't believe it was.
It was going
after
into top 8.
I also see Miyake and
Yeah.
Artie
Yeah.
and Donovan. Donovan. I also can tell that this space, that there's a lot more space between the tables. There's an actual walking aisle here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's fantastic. That's really cool. Looks like they may have moved some stuff too, just for bringing extra tables. So good job on BC. That's cool. Okay, let's see what else we got here.
Oh, we got Richie.
How did I lose everything?
We got Richie
You
here.
done messed up, Chris.
Oh,
Ryan.
yeah, I got it. Oh,
Oh, look at this creepy picture.
look at how intense Artie is. Fucking Artie. Do you have it? Just fucking tell me if you have it.
Love it.
Look at this guy.
Such a creeper.
I've actually seen that guy at a couple SCGs.
Yeah.
And he's
love
he's
that.
actually a really great guy.
I love that
He
he's
is.
fucking
He
memeing
is.
you so hard, just
Yeah.
looking right at you.
All right, so this is, this is some of the BC guys like.
I know this one in the I know this gentleman.
This
right
is
here.
this is Chuber, right here in the green. So yeah, I mean their team did pretty decent.
Here's Mr. Sebastian. This is your after party, guys.
So okay, so
Sebastian looks totally not excited for this.
I wanted to show you this guy's picture in
It's
light
just Seabass's face.
of the new policy. But the fat little hand holding the martini glass, that's me.
Which one?
That's me right there. I ordered a martini. What do you want from me? Everybody got beer.
You can have a martini.
In Josh's defense,
Did they give you shit about our martini?
did you know you were ordering a martini?
You had no idea because you just read something.
Yeah, I
and
was
you're
like,
I want that name.
I want. Well, see this one right here,
Yeah.
number 8. It's got fruit in it, and I really like fruit.
That's right.
I'll order this.
That makes sense.
I will order this.
So yeah, who like you ever sit down and have like 2 or 3 martinis? Those will knock you on your ass faster than anything else. Like martinis are not like some sissy drink.
I like how you got your little
Let's get back on track.
Spanish accent going on.
So yeah,
Martini.
So Richie,
yeah,
we're gonna go back to Legacy. Okay.
I love it. Favorite format.
Yeah, I know it's still my favorite format.
Can talk about it for hours.
Yeah, I know. I still love Commander a lot too. I know you don't want to talk about that. I know your favorite deep down is Pauper though, right? You love you some Pauper. Okay, tiny
I'm
leaders.
actually working on
Gonna be a long night,
battle
boys.
box.
Yeah, so talk about Legacy, please. So there was just a banning that happened. Storm is on top without any G probes.
Yeah,
Your deck that you played relied on G probe. You talked to me last week, and I said
During the Pandemonium Legacy event, which again occurs this Thursday as well.
I will
Every
be
other
there
Thursday.
with,
Thursdays.
every other Thursday
with my
Shout
new
out.
my new
Get it.
spice.
Fire. But yeah, so you told me. I said, Richie, I think I want to get off burn. I think I want to get onto a different burn, and that would be blue red burn, which is the list that you play.
Yeah.
And you said, I don't think you can do that, bub, because we're missing G probe and the deck's just not real anymore. Tell us,
I want
please.
to point out that I had to change this art
So,
banner, by the way, because this was a Death Ray Shaman, and then it got banned, so I had to fucking change the art.
You shouldn't have. You
It was Death Ray. I can confirm that. So,
All right, so tell us
yeah,
about
that's
Legacy.
actually something great to talk about.
Okay.
And before we like really go into like my personal deck and like all my stories, I kind of want to give like the broad aspect of what I thought at first.
Sure.
So going in, no events. My first initial thoughts: Reanimator deck is gonna run wild.
Okay.
You don't have Death Right anymore to hold it down. They can maybe even afford to go a little bit slower, play blue again. Back before Death Right was a card, we had a lot of blue-black Reanimator where they got to play their forces, their days, their careful studies even.
Was that a Tin Fin-esque type of deck? Or
Not
did that grow
not
from
quite
Tin
Tin
Fins?
Fin. That was actually like an
Hashtag on
expansion
man top.
from Tin Fins, and yet also a little bit before Tin Fins.
Okay.
So Tin Fins is like this weird Reanimator Storm love child that is one of my favorite decks if you can actually get it to go off right.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't though.
The deck's fucking bad.
Yeah, deck's bad, but goddamn, you guys should play that for a Wednesday one day. I would be willing to even help you guys try to see
We
the
will play
lines.
Legacy. We will play Legacy.
But yeah, so originally thought Reanimator was going to be good. Death and Taxes I thought was going to be huge. You don't got Death Right Shaman after you wasteland someone, they don't get their mana right away now. So those taxing effects can really hurt them.
Caracas is a hell of a drug.
My other thoughts. I thought Storm wouldn't be as good as it is because, without Git Probe, that's a free spell, that's free knowledge of going off. You have to replace your Cabal therapies with Thought Seizes, which lowers your life total, makes your ad nauseums worse. Grixis Delver, I thought, maybe it's still a thing, but it might be too just cute. Like I figured
down
Teamer
here.
Delver, I thought the goose is gonna be on the loose. But turns out
Go to Legacy.
Teamer Delver's still fine, but it's definitely not the king like
This was
everyone
team,
thought
though.
it was.
This is all your Legacy. So
But yeah, so
This is post banning.
now that we've had a tournament under our belts, as we see, Storm is still a deck. Something I want to talk about, though. We're moving away from what everyone thought was initially the best deck. Everyone thought originally that Ant was the best Storm deck. But now without Probe, you're seeing people go to more of the test style, trying to go faster. You got your Chrome Moxes in there. Mm-hmm. You got your Rite of Flames. You're just trying to make, 6, 10, 12 goblins on turn 1 or 2 and just hope they can go the distance.
You just need, what,
They're
6
all
or
Hercules
7?
and shit.
Yeah.
Or 8. I think 8's
Yeah.
usually
A Storm
the
count of
number.
5 is generally good enough to win.
Yep.
Anything under that can get a little risky, but definitely 5 is fine. And, we see that. It took down our tournament. Or it took down the Worcester Legacy part.
So when you think that you're going to see an influx in Reanimator, you're always going to see an influx in Death and Taxes. But, I don't know how you can get more of an influx in Death and
There's
Taxes.
not a Reanimator.
Well, yeah,
here,
so
though,
probably because there's a bunch of fucking Death and Taxes.
Also, probably
not only that,
also probably because this is a team event, guys.
So here's the other thing, the good side and the bad side about, everyone thinking Reanimator is going to be the best.
Yeah.
I was looking at lists, and it's, almost every list is, 4 ley lines and,
There's
2
a
and, 1 surgical. You're seeing 5, 6, even 7 pieces of graveyard hate now.
Yep.
Which is really, starting to hurt the graveyard decks.
Mm-hmm.
But on the opposite note, that's when decks such as, Sneak and Show can come in. The decks that are trying to put big fatties into play, but aren't using the graveyard.
Richie, can you explain to me what? Because we talked about Brightling last week
Chris
on the
just
show.
cannot fucking handle himself.
Okay.
He's got to cut you off to talk about
I don't
Brightling.
fucking know why Brightling is the card to beat right now. I don't get it.
1, it is a better Sarah Avenger in the decks that we're playing it. 2, if you untap with this thing is never dying. You guys remember when Aetherling was in standard RTR? It was the literal only creature control decks would play because it wouldn't die when you untap.
I think that this thing, sure, it doesn't die, but it doesn't protect itself well either because you have to recast it. It's bounced to its hand. It's I would like this off the board for the turn. Would you like to put it in your hand? Yes, good. Okay, now I will hit you.
But with Aether Vial, you get around that.
Sure.
Yeah, you just keep it on 3 and you just keep recasting it.
So bounce,
So
play,
what the
bounce,
fuck is it doing in this
It's like the
deck? I
Batter
don't know.
Skull trick.
So okay. So one thing is with Stoneblade, I had a joke going around with my friend
Where are
group.
they? There.
Stoneblade is literally someone opens up their binder, goes, I got these sweet blue white X cards. Let's just jam them into
It's
a
like
deck
check-
and
it's
see.
like check pile.
Yeah, it's like check pile.
Okay.
Except you play some swords and some Stoneforge Mystics. Also, known as the Zach Allen pile around here, as he was able to get what was it? I know he top 8'd. I think he got
With check pile?
no with Stoneblade before Deathrite got banned.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he won.
I
He
didn't know.
top 8'd the duel for the duels with
Oh, what a
Stoneblade.
monster! What a
That's cool.
monster!
That's cool.
So yeah, I think the big thing is this has evasion. It has relevant keywords.
It has
It's
evasion?
a mana sink.
It is. Yeah, it's a mana sink, so you can pump it.
Yeah, but these decks
Going
are
from anywhere from a 1
these
to 5.
decks are when they flood is bad and
But that card is helping contradict that.
I can see
Because
that. I
on
can see
one note,
that.
if you're flooding, you got your ports, your Croxes, your Wastelands. But now you also got Brightling, which is a threat that you can pump mana into to get relevant things. Vigilance, Lifelink can be huge in Legacy.
I can't
Especially
remember-
once you equip a Sword of Fire and Ice, a Batter Skull, a Jit to it. That's an unstoppable force smacking
I
into you.
can't remember what he played against, but I watched an entire series for Pleasant Kenobi on YouTube. He's fantastic. He's hilarious. He loves Death and Taxes in Legacy. And he was trying out Brightling, and he went in with sour notes, which is a bad way to start, but he went in and it didn't perform, and every time he just looked at a couple board stays even when it wasn't in his hand. He's Brightling would be terrible in this situation. I haven't found a situation where Brightling would be good on any of these boards. And it's like I wouldn't be able to attack into any of his creatures here and there, and he just flies over me with this and that. Baleful Strix just fucking ruins everything I'm trying to do with this card.
Welcome to Death and Taxes.
Right.
Yeah.
You're...
Either the thing's gonna be a house or it's gonna be dog shit.
Yeah.
One of the two.
The thing is, once you have the game locked, it helps put in that final sleeper hole.
Jerem's Play says, why doesn't Legacy Storm main deck Grape Shot or even play Tendrils of Agony?
So if we actually go back to the list they got first,
I can try. I cannot. I will get there. You keep talking.
Okay. You'll notice, I believe they had a Tendrils in the sideboard, if I remember right. But really, the main reason is now is this version of Storm, it's never really played Tendrils in the main for the fact that it's more of a red deck than it is a black deck. You're really just trying to empty. Like I said, you're not. It's gonna be really hard to get to that 10 Storm count now, and still have the mana to Tendrils unless you get your nut draw.
Yeah,
but that's why you see like the Burning Wishes with the LEDs is if you do get there, Tendrils will win you the game. Yep. But sometimes you just got to settle for, 10, 12, 14 goblins and just hope it gets there.
Am I to understand that, and Grape Shot's no good here because you hit it and instead
you're never getting to 20.
You're not getting to enough. You're not getting to the 18, 20 or whatever that you need. Whereas with a bunch of goblins on the board, like you're likely to hit, and then a couple of them die and you hit and kill.
Okay. Exactly.
Okay.
Like as you see, the biggest payoff in this deck is Ad Nauseam. Which you have to take life loss for.
Sure.
And you're not it's not like the modern Ad Nauseam deck where you're not guaranteed to actually get all of these cards. Like, you're not guaranteed to get everything you need to guarantee win the game.
Sure.
You got to try to take these pieces together, much like a puzzle, and put it together and win the game.
So what are you doing now that the bannings have affected your legacy deck?
So... I didn't get to tell Josh this yet, but
secrets.
I'm currently back on Blue-Red Delver for the time being. Aaron and I have been working...
All right, cut the show. Fuck
John,
you, Richie.
John, kill it,
shit.
kill it.
You're on Blue-Red?
Yeah, I'm back on.
How did I
on the Delver.
How did I
changes.
Just float over a Grape Shot? Where's that?
There's a Grape Shot in the sideboard.
Yeah, there's a
Got it. Okay, I was like, what the hell? We just talked about how this isn't in there. Okay, it makes sense. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so I'm back on Blue-Red right now. Yeah, and we've had to change the list up.
Okay.
We're back up to the 4 Volks, so we're back up to 16 lands.
Okay.
We had to put in Preordain because we need some form of cantrips to also help trigger our prowesses. And then we're up to the 4th Chain Lightning. Because, you really want to try to get that reach.
Baby.
You really want the burn. You really want to get in there.
Yeah.
Especially with Storm Chaser, Mage, and Monastery Swift Spear to help you get there.
How many price progress are you running?
2 prices is all right now.
Strictly Blue-Red?
The one ended up coming out of my sideboard.
Okay.
Because you're not going to see like the 4-color check pile greed-based decks anymore.
Okay.
I want... The Lavamancer is no longer like worth it in the main deck because you're not running into Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah, he's too slow.
We actually replaced it with a Snapcaster Mage, which is a really nice hedge. It's an extra Lightning Bolt, it's an extra Brainstorm, it's an extra Preordain. It can be that 3rd price of progress when you need it. I was really impressed with the card, but when Deathrite was in the format, I really wanted some way to help grind and get out like that value that Deathrite Shaman got them, and that's what Grim Lavamancer could do for me.
Okay.
I like the Lava Man. Lava Man was good for us today too.
He's a 2 of in my sideboard currently, and I've seen this play like True Name. I've seen this play Click. Yeah. Screw all that. Give me Lava Man.
Yeah. So are you playing tomorrow in our Legacy event?
I will be here tomorrow.
Playing Blue-Red?
I will be playing Blue-Red. We'll see how it works.
So if you're watching and you sit down in our Legacy event tomorrow, this is an opportunity where you actually don't go in blind and you do look at your opponent.
Well, yeah, because it's a local.
I'm just teasing.
I just want to let
everybody that's doing Legacies asleep.
I want to let you guys know that tomorrow I'm not actually going to be able to burn any faces off. I'm going to be in Indianapolis tomorrow with my closest family member.
I like your band.
I'm going to see Kasha tomorrow, guys.
Wait, you actually are? This is in Fort Wayne, Indiana?
Yeah, so listen, I'm not going to have a whole lot of time. It's 2:30 in the morning. I need to go and find some... Here's my thing. I want to go find some wings. I want to take my shirt off for the concert. I want to pour glitter all over myself, and I want to bring some pictures back to the people next week.
What does that have to do with wings?
Because I'm going to be an
angel.
Oh,
like actual wings.
Oh, I was...
Where's the chicken wings?
You fat monsters.
Listen, do you see me?
Yeah, you
hungry.
hungry.
Do you think food isn't the first thing on my mind?
Oh, it got me, Josh.
You hungry, dog.
Dude,
I am hungry.
I don't know if those would be PG-13 for sure.
Yeah, I'm hoping that before I'm able to go to the concert tomorrow, I can find some wings to strap on me, and I've got VIP tickets. So, Cash...
Oh, my God.
Dude, I'm actually jealous. Kesha's lit, man. She's got that energy.
I wish you'd have told me. I'd have gone with you.
I gotta go to a judge conference this weekend.
You know who's going to be there, though, with her? Macklemore.
That's cool, too.
Macklemore's lit, dude.
He's not.
Oh, my God.
Is he Florida or is he Detroit?
He's listening to, like...
I want to say he's Florida.
He's like.
Somebody tell me.
He's
Somebody look it up. Macklemore, where's he
he's
from?
like love music mixed with like Christian rock.
There's some like. What? You got the wrong person, baby. All right. So we got Richie on that. So what's your next question?
We still got to talk to Richie. This blows. All right,
Dude,
so
You gave him too many questions.
Richie,
You
talk
got
about.
me talking about Kesha. Of course we got
Listen.
distracted.
They want you to tape chicken wings to the wings now.
Cash is gonna be reaching out, but she's like, it's my lunchtime. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
She's gonna be like, I'm hungry, girl. That girl's hairy.
That girl's hairy. She got this big red beard.
Yeah.
Hairy
Yeah.
chick.
So, all right. So we've got second to last question here, Richie. Talk about the SCG Invitational that you were at, and we want to know how. I personally want to know how dabbing at the SCG Invitational took you to another level. Oh, look at that side by side.
No. Well, they don't see this yet. I want Richie. So, Richie, how'd you do overall at the Invitational?
This motherfucker, they wrote him a check.
I did
They
prize.
wrote you a check?
They did. They wrote him a check.
I prized. I played my ass off at the event. I played a deck that, if you ask just about damn near anyone else, it was probably one of the worst choices to take to that event. Nobody believes in that deck, other than my boy. Shout out to Gavin Kokenauer for giving me the deck.
What'd you play?
In Modern, I played Tron. Big shock, Richie Tron.
Right.
But in Standard, I played a deck known as Flame of Keld.
Flame of Keld.
And basically what it is it's the Josh Warren equivalent of a Standard deck.
It's true. It really
It
is.
is the lowest to
I
the
think you would
ground
like
you could
it.
possibly
Why
get a
does he flatter
Standard
me?
deck.
It's true, though.
Why does he
And
flatter me? I'm
it's
off.
an enchantment.
I literally killed someone on turn 4 at the Invitational.
In Standard.
In Standard.
You just go turn 1 creature, turn 2 flame, draw good stuff?
It was turn 1 Soul Scar.
Yep.
Turn 2 get 2 Lava Runner Bowmat.
Okay, creature, 2 of them are red.
Turn 3 it was Wizard Lightning, Shock.
This has nothing to do with the flame. Oh my god.
No.
One drops.
It didn't matter. Yeah, it just had to go fast.
I got fast.
We like to go
No,
fast.
the thing about the flame is the flame isn't what led you to your nut draws. The flame is what let you. Basically, it's like hitting the nitrous oxide in your car. You go from 0 to 100 real quick.
You have
once
been
that car
watching
comes
way
off.
too much like Triple X and Fast and Furious, boy.
Dude, Fast and Furious, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, especially when they're rolling that safe down the street and they take a turn. Totally real.
We'll watch again.
Okay, so did you get first?
I did not.
Second?
No.
Third?
No.
Then he got
Eighth?
last.
No.
Ninth.
Yeah. I took
Ninth place on that bubble. Good job.
I was about
Good job.
0.25%
Good
that I
job.
got 9th place.
Good job. So,
Wouldn't have changed anything other than
your last round, you go into the feature match, right? You're on one of the side spots in the feature match?
I am in the feature match. I am the backup camera because it is anticipated that I might make top 8 based off the results of this match.
So this is a photo. This is a photo of Richie in that match, yes?
So off note, I didn't know this until the Team Trios tournament. The guy in the Jace costume is also from Michigan.
Yeah.
We've
he's
seen him.
from
I
the
can't remember his
Jackson-
name,
yeah,
but we've seen him,
He's from the Jackson area. I talk to him all the time.
What is the story behind this photo there, Richie?
We had just sat down. I am like freaking out going into this because I know I am right there for the chance to make top 8.
Richie doesn't. He's not like, let me put my hands in my armpits. Like when he gets nervous, he's just like,
This was my first event I've actually ever had a feature match, and I ended up getting 2 this event. One was against the person who ended up beating me into top 8, Zach Elsek, and then there was this one in the very last round of SCG. So we're in the backup camera.
Yep.
We get down. I see. I went on this trip with 2 people, Lance Schultz and Brandon Stuck.
Yep.
And I happened to see Brandon over there taking photos. So I take this moment mainly for Chris, and I look at my opponent and I go, "Look, this has nothing to do with you, nothing to do with anyone. You know, I need to do this. I want to make sure. Please don't disqualify me for this." And then I just had to strike the dab in the feature match of the SCG invitation.
And I don't think you realized it at the time, but the guys next to you are all listening to you say this, and that you caught their attention. Yeah. And immediately everybody's got a smile. Your opponent's got a smile.
The guy in the turquoise shirt, you can't even see him, but you know he's smiling.
Yeah,
Everyone, the like chuckles you just hear from people around. Even my opponent's friends sitting in the sideline just couldn't help but start laughing when they were
funny.
like, "This motherfucker really just did a dab in the feature match."
It's super funny, and yeah, it is because dabbing's the new thing, right? With all the kids and whatnot. It's not planking anymore, it's dabbing. And so this card came out in Dominaria, right? Dominaria, this is
Krusty Krab.
This is dub,
Is the pizza?
but all the dubs in Pandemonium are actually dabs.
They are.
And when people pass them to you, you gotta get dabbed. You gotta dab. So and then you gotta pass it forward. So that's why we have this. That's why Richie had to do that, and that's why it was so cool. Now, Richie, can I get you to hold a dab? It doesn't line up.
It doesn't even work like
it doesn't line up as well. Give me a higher dab. Higher angle. Get your angle.
It doesn't work.
Where's your hand? Give me right
It doesn't work.
You can't.
You're the worst at editing. You're the worst at Oh, there it is. That's a little bit better. Oh, shit.
There's our Josiah fix right there.
Yep. I'm still tearing up.
All right,
It's
baby
good enough.
Richie Thompson. There you go.
Yep, we got him.
Maybe Richie Thompson. So yeah, that's very cool.
I tweeted that at him by the
what,
way after that episode.
What events do you got coming up?
Oh yeah, so really it's just like prepping for your GP Detroit.
Okay.
In
There's
September.
SCG Indy coming up in 2 weeks.
Yep, I'm unfortunately missing SCG Indy. A couple people had came to me asking me if I wanted to tag along, but I just wasn't able to, between work and everything, get the time off, unfortunately. Would have loved to.
You got a life, too. We understand that.
I do plan on, I can't remember the exact date, but there's going to be up in Frankenmuth. Stadium's going to be having a team tournament.
That one's going to be lit with the new policy.
Yeah,
because
it's going to be...
There's like a bar right
it's gonna be
outside that
interesting
venue.
with the, you won't have to chug your beer before.
I won't have to chug my beer before. I walked in the room
interesting.
last year. I guess I could tell this little beer story again.
Didn't we tell this? Did we not tell it on the show? We
No,
were just
we
talking
talked
about it?
earlier,
Holy
yeah.
shit, okay.
So Frankenmuth, what was it, like 2 years ago, they were fine with us having beers inside the play area. No one said anything. It's fine. It's whatever. But this past year, I went again, and
really hurts.
they're like, I brought a beer in, and they're like, okay. And, I sat down, and I thought everything was fine because, I had a beer at the table, and I was like, I did this a few years ago.
Right, no big deal.
Well, then I heard somebody say, make sure that you guys don't bring any beers in here because it's WPN rules that you can't do it. And I looked over at Richie and everybody else.
We
and
all
they're
just look over at Josh.
Like, and I was like, finish my beer. And then I was like, we good.
Everything's okay over here,
Yeah,
officer.
we good.
There's no alcohol here anymore.
Yeah, and so, again, even at an event like that, when I play,
yeah.
I still, I have, 2 beers. It's not like I'm like, oh, man, I'm going to have 6 beers and play Magic. I had 2 beers at that event, It's just I do it every time. It's just, it's one of those things where it's
Have
like,
a beer, have
yeah,
some,
you can
talk
play
to
some Magic.
friends.
I get to lose a bunch and have a couple beers and talk to my friends. It's just like when,
It gets to be a great time for everyone.
Yeah, it's like when Chris gets home from knitting.
I told you, I don't have time for that no more.
Actually, Chris has came up with a new nickname. In honor of Wizards allowing you to drink alcohol while playing Magic, Chris is now going to try drinking alcohol while knitting, and he will be referring to it now as litting.
Getting lit while knitting.
I didn't know if I should laugh at that.
Fucking children.
I don't know if you should laugh at it, but
You
this is
shouldn't
going on
laugh
the
at
internet
it. You
forever
shouldn't
now.
fucking laugh at this
Yeah,
boy.
this is-
Don't encourage him, okay? Don't encourage the boy.
Encourage me and piss off crowd.
I will.
This is the location you guys are talking about, the stadium
Yeah.
with Frankenmuth.
The stadiums.
Yep.
I don't believe it's this exact event, but
It is and it isn't, because they have PPTQs coming up. This is their IQ for this season. And yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Yeah.
I know that they had it outside for their, what was that, a PPTQ or was that an IQ?
Yeah.
It was in the tent. Remember that?
that was a PPTQ.
Okay.
Richie said PP.
That's a lot of people for a PPTQ. I don't think it was a PPTQ.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to double check that one.
But the event I'm talking about it's actually a team event, a team modern event to prepare for Detroit.
Where?
It's in Frankenmuth. I can't remember the exact date. I'll have to double check. And you'll have to mention it on a future episode. But I know the first place team will be getting their entry to GP Detroit paid for.
Ooh, I wonder if somebody's talking about that later on and knows exactly how much that is. We're gonna have to bring that up in a little bit.
Little Grandpa Fancy Pants pulling up his suspenders.
I might have done a podcast show a time or two in my day. This might be episode 10. Humble brag. Okay.
Sorry, I had Chris's dick stuck in my throat there.
It's like episode fucking 10 million
very
for
good.
me.
So we talked about
every minute feels like an eternity.
So we talked about the events that Rich is doing. Are there any other individual things that we need to speak out with Richie while we have him? Because they got a long ride home.
They do, but I think they're actually going to go get food with me after this. So I think they're staying for food, maybe.
Yeah, I'm
you guys thinking about that?
After this.
No, they're like, fuck no.
Dude, I'm feeling great, dude. I don't
Good.
work all week, so like, yeah.
So that's a yes?
You'll take me to Monroe, right?
Oh, there's Brandon Stuck. I was like, where the fuck is that boy at?
Hey, he's got diabetes. He don't matter.
All right.
My dad.
All right, Richie.
My name's Walter Brumbling.
We're gonna keep on trucking through the show so we can get these people, so we can feed the people.
I gotta eat.
That's what I do. I feed the people.
I gotta eat at some point.
So for everyone that knows, Modern Tron, I have 4 Feed the Clans in my sideboard right now. Cause fuck you, Josh Warren.
I thought you were gonna cut them. You said they were bad when you lost to me the last time.
All right.
Have you ever stopped talking? He's like,
have you ever had like that small amount of cancer you just can't cut all the way?
That's. All right, Richie, thank you so much for joining us. Your insight on Legacy and everything else.
Yeah, I'd love to
continue to do great, sir. We are always rooting for you. All right.
Yeah, I'll hopefully be back on a future episode, maybe with some winnings. If not, I'll just be back to make fun of you guys.
You did not win tonight. I'm going to put that out there.
I did not. Triple sweeper.
I sat everybody for like round 3 or something like that, and Richie like comes up here just after I seat everybody and start the event, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Get to your table. He's like, I dropped.
It was round 4 that I dropped. I made it through the first 3.
We're like, Richie, we gotta brag about you.
I was like, what the hell are you doing
tonight?
Oh yeah, that's right. Because like he told me as soon as he told me to drop, that's what I yelled across the room. I was like, Josh, we did a new special guest.
Oh, that's why you were saying that?
I tried telling you guys to get Travis Hawk on. He 4-0'd with spirits.
He did. Wait, there was 2 spirit decks that went 4-0 tonight.
No, Travis Hawk.
Travis Hawk.
So I think Travis is on the blue white.
Yeah.
And then a Bant one. Both went 4-0 tonight.
You should play the blue white.
We're gonna play Bant.
Yeah, so I guess we should let's plug. Yeah, Grandpa does have to get his way. Let's plug this. No, I want to plug it. So we had some people at the shop go 4-0 tonight.
Yes.
Spirits.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
That
got it.
Is going to be. Let's see. What do we got here? Right here. Click on this.
That?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So
what's this little?
What's this little gem?
So
if you so if you go and follow us on Mom's Basement Games at our YouTube channel, you can actually see us play Modern Bant Spirits next week.
That's uploading in the background right now.
Yeah, as our fun of
Bant
deck.
Spirits is?
No, that's next week.
Now,
next week is our fun of.
Maybe we'll be able to talk Chris into not playing the Splasher Green, but I don't want to upset him. He probably wants to play the Splasher Green, which is fine.
Chris
but
just has
I'm gonna look at both.
hard on for collected company.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, because Franz is fucking awesome.
So every single week at 1:30 on Wednesday, we
much like
we
when
Twitch
we start Magic After Dark.
we do our Twitch, and we run through a competitive league.
Oh, don't show this one. Don't show this one.
And so
cut this.
Here's us
this
playing.
deck didn't happen.
Yeah, this never happened.
Quick, cut the clip.
So 1 week we play a serious deck, the next week we play a fun deck. So Bant Spirits is rolling up next week. So check that out.
That might be more real than expected. Though.
Oh, it's gonna be very real, I believe.
That's gonna be the best part about it.
My nizzle.
Okay, so let's roll right into SDG Philly. That's what we got coming up next. It's a team constructed event.
All right. Well, now I got my tabs all.
You got your tabs different?
I got my tabs all crazy.
That's okay.
All right. Are you keeping this guy, or are we shipping him? What are we doing with this?
No,
boy?
he can go if he wants, or he can stay.
I'm fine either way.
Should I go now?
Yeah, should he stay or should he go now?
You could stay, Rich.
All right, Richie's in. Richie's not getting out. All right.
Tag me in, champ.
All right, so Philadelphia. This is what you wanted, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So we always want to make sure that we do.
Is this the one?
Some type of upcoming events. We want to prep you guys for. Not only do we want to talk about what's going on in the metas, we want to let you know what kind of events are
Bridge,
going on.
Both of them.
So we've got SCG Philly coming up. That's going to be a team constructive, so you're going to have your standard Modern Legacy. So again, we went over the standard Modern Legacy, the who's on top. That gives you a little clue of what's going on in the meta. And obviously you guys can go and do the search for yourselves, but what we try to do is, within an hour and a half, we try to pack this all in, which that's kind of long, but, we got to talk to Richie. We got to, humble brag about ourselves.
We got to have some fun, too.
Because girls just want to have fun.
I love the really quick show. Shit, now I can't think of it.
The one that I turned
Split Second.
Split Second.
I love Split Second.
They actually discontinued that.
Yeah,
No
they pick it up and they drop it. Pick it up and drop it. It's when they have time for it. Because it's like I don't think it's ever been longer than 2-minute show.
Yeah, the production value on that's like 8 hours for 2 minutes.
It's definitely time consuming. It's a couple hours. I guarantee it. And I love it. It's a great show. It's very quick. It's a SCG show. Again, it's called Split Second. Go to YouTube. Get
His
that.
name's Jeremy something.
Jeremy Knoll. Thank you so much for remembering his first name. I couldn't remember. Jeremy Knoll. They do a great job.
Yeah,
they
he's great.
really do.
He's got a very sultry voice.
It's very enjoyable. What? But anyways, shows like that are quick and easy can get away with not having a lot of personality. We're doing a whole show here. We want to give some personality to the show.
That's why they had to bring me in. They needed some personality.
I think we should cancel the show.
You're welcome, Josh. You have more free time now.
Thanks, bud. Okay.
Anyways, team event.
Yeah. So, get if you're bringing a standard player, you're gonna make them play red black.
Have them play Flame McKell. Hit me up on Twitter.
Black red.
Black red.
Mono red. Flame
And
McKell.
so, and then if you're taking modern, where do you want to be? You want to be on Jeskai? We just saw Jeskai was number 1.
Jessica's pretty good, but it's not an easy pilot.
Humans is another
you
really
want to be
good choice.
Yeah, you want to be on humans. And this is
Spirits.
coming from a Tron player, so yeah.
Yeah, so I actually
Tron's
think
actually not really that hot right now, is it?
So I think for
Thank
a
God.
team event, I don't think Tron is great.
No.
I think for
don't
an
either.
event like this where you're only facing there's only one modern deck you got to worry about. You're not got to worry about them sharing cards. I feel like Tron is a better choice because you're more likely to run into more humans or more Jeskai. You don't have to take the odds of am I sitting in the right seat.
so.
All right, before we move forward, again, we have to give a shout out to our sponsor. Again, this episode is brought to you in part by Mr. Sean Darrow today. Thank you, Sean, for the
Thanks, Sean.
beverages.
You're a gentleman.
Cheers.
Yeah. So the next thing that we're going to talk about, and I want to say this 3 times fast: international nationals, international nationals, international nationals.
That
I
wasn't
think it's
fast
supposed to be
enough.
5 times fast, but whatever.
5 times
You've
fast?
lost it now. It's done. The gimmick is over.
It was
The
great.
jig is up, the news is up.
Oh, am I moving on?
finally,
Yeah,
I
we
didn't
got
realize this boy was
internationals.
so musical.
We got international
I gotta
nationals.
bridge the gap for you.
Oh, now I understand.
Yeah, so now what had happened is I said to you, Chris, we got nationals coming up, and you're like, what the fuck? That was like 2 weeks ago.
Josh, we were at National. You and I were physically
but
there. What the
we
fuck are you
have
talking about?
international nationals. So if you scroll down,
I'm scrolling down.
you're gonna see right here. You're gonna see
down,
so musical.
Argentina, Ecuador,
Dominican, Ecuador.
Macedonia.
Whales, they're my favorite animal.
Holy shit, my head. Holy shit.
Okay, so click on here.
Meme.
The Asian writing here. So now,
Ching Chang.
Too
yeah.
far. Too far.
so we've got Grand Prix Chiba.
Yes.
Now, I don't know
Do you know
where
where Chiba is,
I
Josh?
don't. I think it's in Chiba.
I think you're right.
Chiba.
I don't like that these are appearing at all of the events now. There's even one for Gen Con.
All right, so
Yeah,
keep
I've seen
scrolling
that.
down. Keep scrolling down
taken away
until
from
you
the
get to the
Vegas one.
lands.
The lands?
Yeah, I want to show everybody the
hell's
lands
going
again.
on here?
Here we go.
Oh.
All right, so this is something really cool and you get these inside events. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so these are really somebody said that this art. Somebody that I
Like the
talked to
swamp.
earlier said that these arts are really basic, and that's true because they're on basic lands, and so I
was
agree
me.
with that. But
These
I
are
actually,
fine.
yeah, no, I really like
I
these.
don't
I like that
like the
swamp.
idea if
They're
you're
different.
gonna do a
They're different.
promo. I don't like the idea of doing something like a basic land. Everybody
There's
has
a lot of-
basic lands
there's a
that are
lot of
going to
different
things
basic
like
lands.
these, and so
But it's cool that they say Grand Prix. On
I
the
think that
inside.
is really cool. I
like
think
the
that
Grand Prix.
really flares
all
them
right,
up.
but you could have done it on
Why
a
isn't
full
this asking to
art, or
translate?
you could have done it
yes,
on
thank you.
an
There we
unstable or
go.
unhinged variant of the
Sure.
land. Like I don't like that they went with like the traditional basic land, or like if you really wanted to do something special,
it's neat.
I think they're
go
nice.
to like an old school border. Do something special like that if you
Yeah.
really want to give them.
I
Like,
lost it.
Yeah,
some
you went up,
awesome
down
type
instead
of
of up.
promo. And I don't know what
There
Chris
they are.
is doing anymore. But
Don't
Yeah,
worry
it's
about
making
me.
me
You
seasick.
just talk.
Yeah, but
I drive. You talk.
so now
I'm scared of your driving.
so
You would be.
Chiba along with Sacramento. If you click here,
Live in Sacramento.
so Sacramento,
Sorry.
both of Chiba and Sacramento are going to be limited. So there's not a whole lot that we can talk
So
about.
there's
I
only
don't like
there's only
limited.
limited seating.
You know what? We can talk about limited because Richie wasn't there and you didn't play in the main event. But at
In
Nationals,
yeah.
we didn't have sealed, which is what these will be, right? They're not like team limited.
It I believe it's sealed day 1 and then draft day 2.
Perfect.
Correct.
Because I really enjoyed the competitive draft. Like they set up all the tables, you go, you sit down in your assigned seat, which is a little bit awkward to figure out at first. They do a called draft where they count down the time for how long
It
you have
is
to
something
pick.
different if you're not used
It's
to it.
intense for sure, and it's definitely kind of nerve wracking, but it's genuinely fun. It's genuinely fun. I love drafting. And
so bad
and that
at
really
it.
took it to the next level.
so bad at
It
drafting.
doesn't matter about being good about drafting. It's
You
enjoyable
know what we
to
could
draft.
get it. You know what else would be great to
Or
get?
play Pai Gow. You should play Pai Gow.
Some
Super
more
fun. Look it up. Pai
Rochester
Gow.
drafts.
No, Pai Gow.
Rochester.
Pai Gow.
Rochester.
Beta.
Okay, so what do you want to talk about with these guys?
No, I just wanted to I just want to let everybody know what's going on, what to look for. So if you're trying to grind out some content in the next week, your content is going to be Grand Prix Chiba
Yeah.
and Grand Prix Sacramento, which are both going to be limited. So again, if you want to go to our page and just rewatch us over and over play Bant Spirits, that's probably going to be better than watching limited coverage.
Yeah, limited coverage is rough, man. It's real rough.
So, but yeah, so I mean, you don't have a whole lot of content next week, but it's whatever.
You got me to fill the gaps.
Yeah,
Just
so
rewatch Magic After Dark with me.
So now next, you know I will.
This boy.
So next we're gonna roll right into Judge's Corner.
Oh, are we?
Roll
Don't you
out.
fucking go anywhere, all right? I'm gonna try and do this
Roll
as
out.
quick.
Well, I gotta get a slice of pizza that's sitting over here.
Go get it, and then you sit your butt back down, boy.
Don't tell me what to do.
All right, you love it.
Yeah, so Chris's Judge's Corner is actually what
the hell is my Judge's Corner?
Pretty interesting tonight.
Something about DeMars.
Okay, I got it. Okay,
9-year-old.
because it's not directly related to him, but like,
Okay.
it's what
Trigger.
made me remember it earlier.
Trigger.
It's not a trigger either.
Trigger.
All right, so Judge's Corner this week. We're gonna start our clock too because I think we can be quick and easy. You're gonna kick him out too.
Cookie with me?
I don't like being alone for these. I really don't. It throws me off. It changes the whole dynamic, right, guys? Okay, so we're gonna start our clock. We're gonna get into this. So our dynamic now is the self tilt. To recognize when you yourself are getting a little bit too worked up in a match for whatever reason. I guarantee it that at least eight times out of 10, it's because you've misread something that your opponent said or did in a negative way, and that's not what they intended, and you're just going down a spiral. And they're picking up on your negative energy, and how you're upset, and then they're getting upset, and it's just back and forth from there. It's no good. So. Josh, I didn't talk about Terrence and Dustin during our last one, right?
Say again?
Did I talk about Terrence and Dustin during our last one?
I don't believe so.
I'm so freaking tired.
You're good.
So the key here, guys, that I want to talk about is there's been several stories that have come to me recently about past stuff, people in the past, and how they were having an interchange with the person across from them, which is your normal thing. But it was going to such an extent that it was affecting the games next to him and in the next row and stuff like that. And these are all times where you just need to take a moment, pause, and take a breath. If you got to step away and do whatever you got to do, call a judge. Judge is going to be like, yeah, that's fine. Go take a quick breather. Come back. We'll get you a little time extension. 2 minutes. So go ahead. Go do what you got to do. Come back. Be like, dude, sorry. I just had to clear my head. I might have taken something that you said wrong, and it started to get into me, and I don't want to be like that. I want to play Magic. I want to have fun with you, and that's generally going to restart everything. It's going to be good. So, quick example, pre-release, I had a player that wasn't familiar with his opponent, but his opponent is a well-known player in the area, and they're just playing Seal. It's just fun, casual stuff, right? And players thinking out loud says something along the lines to himself is like, how should I block here? And the other player doesn't understand, says, oh, well, you could block like this and you could block like this. The well-known player knows what he's doing. He's a veteran of the sorts. He says, I know how to block. I understand how the game works. I can figure it out. You don't have to tell me how to do my blocks. Thank you. And it immediately took a wrong turn from there, because while he was trying to reset that situation of like, no, I wasn't asking for play advice. I was just thinking out loud, or asking myself out loud. It quickly spiraled into a you don't have to be mean about it or grumpy about it or anything. I was like, oh well, I'm not upset. I'm not grumpy. It's not my intention here. It's like, well, you're being kind of mean or upset. It's like, I'm not upset, but the more you say that, I'm actually going to get upset. Well, you seem really upset. Again, not upset. Just stop, guys. You get into these situations where you're feeling yourself and you're like, maybe this isn't the right intention. Maybe I misread something here. I misheard something here. Just pause. Call a judge. Say you want to ask a question away from the table. Do so. Be like, you know what? I just need to go clear my head for a second. I don't know if we could do like a quick 2-minute extension. I'm going to go to the bathroom, come back, start fresh. I feel like my opponent and I have a little bit of negative energy, and I want to come back and I want to be like, hey man, I just want to have fun playing this game with you. I'm sorry if we've had any bad blood. It's a very important thing, and it's a very mature thing to do, because not only are you impacting that person, but the other people next to you. Because the way I heard about this call originally was not from either of those people. I heard about that call from another person who said, if you guys are having a disagreement, maybe you should just call a judge. And they got into it like, oh, we don't need a judge. And he's like, well, I'm going to call a judge because I'm kind of uncomfortable. And that's good. I've heard of other things where somebody's upset working with somebody else. They get a bad judge ruling. They get upset. Bounce a pen off the table or something like that, it ends up in the play area next to them. You're not only just impacting the guy who you think is being a dick to you and you're probably not correct about, but you're impacting everybody else around you too. And you're bringing their tournament experience down, and you're bringing negative insight on yourself. People are going to remember that. People are going to be like, see that guy over there? Last month at a tournament, he fucking went off on some kid. He threw a pen across the room, just kind of like flicked it backward, and it landed on my table. Like, you play against that guy? I wouldn't say a damn word to him. That's not the image that anybody wants to put forward. That's not why we play Magic. We play Magic to come together as a bunch of fucking nerds and have a good time, test our skills and our strategy and our knowledge. So that's my Judge's Corner. That's my advice to you. Again, you're feeling a little heated in any way, shape, or form. You just need to pause. Call a judge. Get a little pause break. It's fine. We're here for you. Okay? Got there.
We did it, boys.
You finished with 3 seconds. Meow.
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 Man, I don't even have to
right
meow
now.
you right now. Dude, man, look at you. Crushing Judge's
That wasn't
Corner.
even like the main topic that I wanted to go to, but that's the one that I was thinking about, and that's why you guys keep ditching out on me in these, and I'm just like, crap, I can't remember if I've already said this or not.
Listen, Chris, it's 2:30 in the morning. We've been working all day. It's okay.
Oh, yeah?
Kinda stretches
Oh, yeah,
out.
you guys have too?
It's okay if you repeat yourself a little bit.
I'm an old fuck.
Yeah, it's okay.
Grandpa, it's okay if the kids step on your lawn a little bit.
No, get off my lawn. Get off my lawn.
All right, so what do we got
Where's this
rolling out of Judge's Corner? Well,
Oh, hold on. We got a spicy deck I want to talk about.
scroll
on
it
this.
down. Scroll it down.
Scroll
Okay,
down.
well, it's not there yet, so...
Oh, we're not there yet. Nice.
Okay.
All right, so we got our. So every week, you guys who have been watching us, we do our MTGO standings for the
Yeah.
week. So this not only gives us more knowledge into what people are playing, but we get the online business. Now, again, we make the same joke every week, and I'm going to go ahead and make it.
Oh, I don't remember what it is. That must mean it's terrible.
Really? You
I
don't
don't
remember?
fucking
It's my
remember what it
favorite
is.
joke.
Yeah. So first, we're going to roll right into Pauper Constructed League. See? You remember?
Dude,
The Pauper just triggers
I'm
it.
like Josh Warren, dude. I played Burnin' Pauper.
We ain't looking at
Yeah,
fucking
baby.
Pauper.
We're never going to look at Pauper.
No.
So, look.
Where do you want to start?
MTGO standings, all formats, including Pauper. That's in my notes. So we're always gonna start with the number one thing that people want to see is
it modern?
It's gonna be modern.
Okay, we'll start with modern.
Yep. And so we have a.
Do you know what are in here?
Yeah. So I wanna roll down to the spicy list that we talked about that have again M19 cards. So you're gonna hit the search, and you're gonna type in SISI cat.
Oh,
There
right
he is. Sissy cat.
This is a really spicy list. Me and my friends
spent
have
this
all been
much time
talking
on this.
about.
My bad. So we've got some creatures.
So this deck is actually crazy, and like, I still am having trouble wrapping my head around this deck.
Oh.
So it's like this weird. It's a Vengevine deck, so you're trying to recur creatures. You have lootings, but there's also Bridge from Belows to go with your Viscera and your Hangerback Walkers to get you more zombies. Then there's Goblin Bushwhacker, so you can surge for like an Alpha Strike.
Yeah, where's the new Liliana?
No. Get out of here, Chris. We're not talking about a shitty standard deck. But yeah, so this deck isn't like...
This is cool.
It's crazy. I don't know...
Okay, so
I wouldn't know what was going on
explain to us what the loop is.
All right.
Richie, do you know what the loop is?
So there isn't like an infinite loop to
Sure,
my
of course,
understanding
yeah.
of the deck. But you're a value deck that's just going to outgrind everything. Because like you get these bridges in your yard, and you have Viscera Seer in play. So then like Stitcher's Supplier mills 6 cards, and you get a Scry. You have Bloodghast, which keep coming back off land drops.
I'm working on it alright.
I don't know what Chris is doing right now.
Don't worry about it. You just...
It's hard to talk when I can't see.
You don't
There you
need to
go.
see it.
You have Hangerback Walker and Walking Ballistas to help get back your Vengevines for free.
Okay.
And like then that's free bridge triggers, so you can keep building up a zombie army, and eventually you can just Goblin Bushwhacker once you have enough zombies. It obviously takes some setting up, but like you just have this great grind in between because Bloodghast come back, Vengevines come back, Grave Crawlers come back because you keep getting zombies. Stitcher is a zombie that mills you deeper into your deck.
How's the Grave Crawler work again?
Yeah.
It can't block. And you can cast it from your graveyard as long as you have a zombie.
Okay.
So what this deck preys on is those decks that cannot interact with it, and there's a lot of like Jeskai is really big right now. So there's a lot of decks that are
kill that. I'm done with it.
Yeah. They're just like,
And these
okay,
come back.
yeah, let's lightning bolt, let's lightning helix.
Electrolyze.
Yeah, let's electrolyze, and so
Feel free to
it's just preying on decks like this.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good or bad is your matchup with Tron versus something like this?
So I think it will very much depend on the draws, because I think you
Jinx.
will.
This fucking boy.
I think like if you get your Ugins or your O-Stones, you can probably stabilize enough, but like a Karn isn't gonna do it. Wormcoil might be able to. It can be really close. The deck looks like it would play out a lot like Dredge in that.
Give me a number, Richie. 1 to 10.
1 to 10 on like it versus Tron.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going at like a 4 or 5 in Tron's favor. So like I think this deck might be slightly favored against Tron.
60-40.
Just because, 60-40.
I'm good with that.
Because Viscera Seer can put your things into the yard and gain you value before you pop your board.
All right.
Or
so
your Relic of Progenitus.
am I looking for another deck? Was there another particular one you guys wanted to hit?
No. That's the one that we want to basically talk about for Modern. And
Had some sweet M19
yeah, so
cards
this
in
was
it.
another
You didn't
one.
want to talk about this.
That is, yeah. So
this is the blue-white one.
yeah, so
I don't like this list. I don't
now-
like Lingering Souls.
let's show this guy right here, the new M19 guy. So I played against this online.
He's got a butt.
I got my ass whooped by this thing. It is a 1/3. He got a big old butt.
You got a
Supreme-
big booty, so
yeah,
they call
Supreme
him Big
Phantom.
Booty.
He's so,
So
musical.
this deck is actually picking up some steam. And it's doing really good. Again, we had some local guys playing this deck. I've been seeing it online. I got beat by it online.
I don't actually think Mutavault's that great for this.
Yeah, I don't either.
All your things fly. I think the
maybe
land
in
you
it,
want in that
but-
slot is Moorland Haunt.
Maybe yeah,
What's
but
the Moreland Hunt?
Moreland Haunt is
White,
exile.
blue, tap, exile a creature from your yard, make a 1/1 spirit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
get behind that.
Mutavault may be right for the 2-color. I think I'm okay with that.
Well, the 2-color one's the one I think that Moorland Haunt's good in, too. Because I think once you hit Bant, I think your mana base gets a little too greedy to have all these colorless lands.
Sure.
Super fair.
I don't know. I'd like to see a list do well with Moreland Haunt in it also. But yeah, I mean, a lot of this other 5-0 stuff. That was really the only things that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, was the click on Curious Succession. What is this? So
this is the
okay. So it's a 1-drop
There's
enchantment.
Moreland Haunt too.
Enchant creature gets +1/+1 and has whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card at the beginning of your end step. If you didn't attack with a creature this turn, sack Curious Obsession.
yeah. This is Curiosity, but with a buff.
So the
There's your
biggest
Moreland
problem
Haunt.
with Curious Obsession I've heard from
is
people
good.
who've been trying this deck is like the matchups you want it in is you want it against like the Jeskai blue-white control decks, but they have a lot of spot removal for your threats.
Right.
Yeah.
So unless like you already have like Drog Skull and then like another Drog Skull or a Phantasmal copying your Drog Skull,
You've got to be able to keep that hexproof up.
This is not a
this card
turn.
to
This
matter.
is not a turn 2 or turn 3
No.
play.
No, not
this
at
is
all.
like your turn 4, 5, 6
Yeah.
because you can protect it.
Yeah, so this is their way of being able to find some type of card draw.
Yes, yes.
Even though-
this is your Jason 6 with a negate backup.
it's your way to counteract the card disadvantage Vial gives you.
Let's run this card.
Yeah, I like it. We could do this.
I like that card.
We can do that.
That card looks sweet. All right.
Okay, where are we going?
Yeah, so back us. Get us back that ass up.
Back.
We want to go here. We want to go ahead and look at this legacy events or
Okay.
legacy challenge as we always do because
It's challenging.
we like us some legacy.
If you go to 60-second, there's a blue-red Delver deck.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
If you just like scroll to the bottom, pretty much.
62nd place,
Is that what I'm supposed to?
30-second.
32nd place.
Yeah, if you just say
Oh,
30-second
It
place.
wasn't this one.
This is legacy, bub.
Yeah, I don't know. What
no, I know.
Oh, you thought it was in.
I was looking through this, and at the very last deck list, I thought had blue-red Delver in it, but I
You
guess
could just
not.
do Delver. Ooh,
First place got Delver.
least
Oh, this is a
bean.
different one then.
Ooh, baby, let's see.
This
okay.
isn't the one that
Ah,
Yeah, so
I hate Nimble Mongoose.
I do too. The card is so
Booty.
the card is so lackluster to me.
I actually tested this deck
Booty.
when I thought like blue-red was dead, and my biggest problem with this deck is when you get behind, there's no way to catch up.
Booty.
Yeah.
Is this the one you were talking about?
No, this is actually a different challenge. I didn't realize another challenge had
Oh,
happened,
gotcha. Okay.
so that is my fault. Punt count 1 on my end.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Josh has got
Hold
4
on,
then.
guys, scroll past second rule. Hold on, nope, scroll past it, go past it. We can't let
All right.
Terrence see that.
Oh, those are fish.
Oh no! Did somebody take second place with
in the
fish?
Legacy
Oh,
Challenge.
well, this is
with
the new.
Marvel.
This is the new
Oh,
card.
no.
It's only a one of, but this is the new card.
We gotta cut the stream, guys. Terrence, hopefully you're asleep right now.
Oh, he is. Unless he woke
He
up to
catches
pee.
us. He catches us later.
Hopefully he's not peeing right now.
So sacrifice Mistcaller until end of turn. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield. Ooh.
It's Containment Priest,
Yeah,
not a Merfolk.
they got Merfolk Containment Priest. That's
Yeah.
badass.
Mertainment Priest.
Yeah.
See, this is what I try to strive for every single week.
Dude, I want some fucking chicken wings.
Oh, you hungry?
Strapped on Josh Warren's back.
I don't care where the fuck
we
they're
still got
at.
a little time.
Yeah.
We're right on schedule, but yeah. So, I just want to show all the new cards that are popping up in Legacy.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
It's good.
Legacy.
Legacy's hot.
I love this format.
All right, so go
It's
ahead
still a dying
and
format.
click on the
I
next
will
thing
not
here.
disagree that it's a dying format.
This was another card here that we just
we-
talked
yeah, we
about.
talked about this one in
we
the
already talked about it.
whatchamacallit, yeah.
So that guy got moved.
Am I going
so
to this?
yeah, we're going to talk about Bant Spirits.
Yeah, Saffron
So-
Olive MVP.
if you
I'm
scroll
sorry,
down,
Seth. Better
Seth?
known as Saffron Olive.
I love when you do that. I don't know why.
That's his name.
All I hear is
Yeah. Yep.
The man deserves it.
So this is probably the list that we're going to be running, and that's why I had our page pulled up so that people could watch next week.
All right.
Next Wednesday at 1:30.
So on Magic Afternoon,
Yeah.
Birds, Wanderer, Noble. Ooh, only 2. Rattle Change, Selfless Spirit, Supreme Phantom, Drugskull, Spell Queller, Path, Coco.
Yeah, so I brought this list up because you said that you wanted to play Coco.
I wanna play
and
Coco.
We also wanted to play Supreme Phantom.
That makes me so
Because
nervous
that's
when you knife hand around your beer.
Yeah, so that's something that we that I wanted to kind of mash together is be able to get some new cards in there, some M19 action, with also staying on track with your.
So I I watched this the other night, and this was very entertaining. I did. I watched this the other night. I really like his little art for it. That's the spirit coming through the computer screen at you.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a real fucking thick computer screen for some reason.
Yeah.
Or a TV from the movie. Anyways, I didn't even realize that it had the mana dorks. Now that I think about it, Noble seems good, but the bird
5 mana dorks.
But it makes it makes sense.
It was typically 5 mana.
So the league that he played with this, he went 4-1. I can't remember what he lost to, but it was very good. It was very entertaining. Seth, you're awesome, dude.
Yep. All right, so we got
I'm
some.
excited.
Yeah, so this is gonna be. We're gonna play this this list, very similar list to this next week on Magic Afternoon. So check that out. You can follow us on Twitter, and we'll let you know when that happens.
Yeah.
Which is Chris is.
There are the tweeters. Oh, I went too far. Dang it. There are the tweeters.
There it is. I
right
love
there.
it. So.
Tweeters.
Yeah, follow us. Even follow Richie.
We got Richie in there too.
Yeah, you can
Pro Tour, Richie Thompson.
You can keep up with him and check and see what he's doing. Yeah, so it's good. So let's move on to finance.
Let's talk about the wieners.
You got that fine ants.
We've got it. Oh, I love that thing that my brother made. It's great.
We got that
fine ants.
Fine ants.
Fine ants.
Chris, are you telling us that you're into ants?
Fine ants.
Wow, you got a single one?
All right, so our weekly winners
because he's got ants.
Is Pete Bog.
I don't even know what this
his
card
mom's
is.
sisters.
So Pete Bog is comes into play tapped. It's got depletion.
Sounds like a bar I've
it's got
been to.
depletion counters. This card is a maybe of in your 2-color commander decks. So you're gonna play the black ones, the mono red.
I love Mercadian Masks.
Legacy.
The mono red sneak attack deck.
That plays the red one. Yes, with the depletion.
Move a
counters on
counter,
it.
add 2 black mana to your mana pool. If there's no depletion counters on it, sacrifice it.
Yep. So I'm not sure why the black one popped, but again, weird shit happens.
So this is a cycle. There's one of each kind of thing.
Recent legacy bannings. This is kind of his opinion on it. A visible influence on the market for formats and shifts. So they think maybe that this is going to do something in legacy.
Maybe, I don't know. This is Mercadian Masks.
I'm gonna give this guy 0 stars for that kind of.
It went from change to literal $3-4. So we'll see.
It's up 1,000%. So that's cool. So dig those out. Give it to somebody like me, and hopefully they offer you a buck for it.
Don't give it to you. It is a popper. Is that why?
A pauper.
Oh, it is.
Pauper.
That makes way more sense. That makes way more sense, Josh. Yeah,
All right,
that makes way more sense.
Pauper results. Okay.
Here's one. Goblin Lackey.
He's up 99%. He's up to 1853.
Hey, this thing only has 1 power, 1 toughness. That's not good in Legacy, right?
It's good in Legacy.
Legacy. Isn't there a 1/2 that keeps this card in check?
Like you can't swing into it, right?
Right, yeah. Death Salmon.
Shaman of the Death. Wrong? Yeah.
All right, so I'm not sure why this card popped.
Because Goblins is back, baby.
Oh, God. Goblins is...
It's a real deal again.
No more ice cream for you, boy.
Listen,
No, this
Richie,
is just me when you actually get me talking about Magic.
Richie, listen. No one is going to be saying, oh, my God, Deathrite and G-Probe got banned. I need to go out and get my Goblin.
Jim Davis.
Isn't that what everyone's saying?
No one's saying that.
This deck
If you're
literally
saying-
can accumulate the most card advantage in Legacy.
That's what everybody's saying here.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with it either, but that's what everyone's saying. You can't say that nobody's saying it if that's what they're saying.
Goblins is
no one that's
legit.
good at saying that.
You don't think Jim Davis is good?
I don't think Goblins is
didn't say
legit.
that.
I don't think Goblins is legit.
I didn't
And
say
I'm going to go with the all-time
This Goblins
most
even
common,
has a jit.
I'm going to go with the all-time most common Magic response to this kind of stuff. Dies to removal. Moving on.
Oh my God! And
I like
so
that.
does Delver. You think that keeps that card down in Legacy?
Caracas.
Okay, we've talked about this either last week or the week before.
I think it was last week.
So
You said get your Caracases.
Yes, I said get Caracas. I call it Caracas.
Crack your asses.
Now,
Get your crack
the
ass.
reason that you're gonna see an uptick in this
Crack you
card
upside your
again
ass.
is because of what we talked about. The decks that people think are doing well or that are
Reanimator.
going to shift is going to be your reanimators, which have legendary creatures in it.
Legendary.
I also want to point out Death and Taxes because people forget that
Yeah,
they
so
can
you're
bounce their
gonna
opponent's Thalias.
you're gonna see an uptick in death and taxes, which God, I don't know how that's possible because the deck is everywhere.
Because it's so cheap.
Yeah, it's just a great deck.
I mean,
poor
we
man's
just
legacy
had
deck.
ports reprinted.
Yep.
We
So,
talked
You know
about
what they can
ports.
say? Everybody can afford death, taxes, and legacy.
That's your that's your
true.
up stuff. Do you have down
yeah,
stuff?
yeah, we got downs here.
I don't
So
have the
we're
downs
gonna
here.
we're gonna scroll down to the middle of the page here. So the stuff that we have.
I'm terrified as to how far I'm supposed to go down.
Yeah, keep going. You'll see.
You're
it.
going down, down.
I don't know what I'm looking for, bro.
Oh, you went a little too far.
But just tell me what I'm looking for.
Well, you're gonna look for cards that say they're on the down spiral,
Oh, well, then why don't I just...
all-time lows.
Well, why don't I
guess
I
just...
got a new low.
Yeah, you're just gonna go all-time low.
Where do I go? You tell me.
Here, let me see this.
Just...
Yeah, I got it.
Show Grandpa how to work the computer. He doesn't understand.
Oh,
So if
you
you
want
scroll-
me to... Josh, if you make me
If you
search...
if you scroll down, yeah, there you go,
yeah,
all-time low.
yeah, that's all you...
There you go.
That's all you have to tell
No,
me.
you just looked up All Hallows Eve.
All right, so
I know what I'm doing, boys.
yeah. So the one
Nahiri the
thing,
Harbinger?
the two that are at the all-time low right now that I want to show people are again cards that we've already talked about.
Okay.
Okay. So there's not a whole lot on here that you're gonna want to go, oh wow, this is crazy. I need to pick this random ass card up like Vindicate or Pendlehaven. Like, yeah, those cards are low right now, but those aren't the cards that most people are trying to pick up. It's the bigger, the higher dollar cards. So you're gonna want to look at click on this next one, which is
okay. Got
our Crucible of Worlds. So
Yes.
this card 2 months ago, you had to pay $60 for this card.
Yes.
No ifs, ands, or buts. You had to pay $60 for this
I
card.
still want a pack foil of this.
This card
I've
is now.
gone in and out of this card between 40 and 60, getting, trading, getting
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, this card's 19. It's $19.
Good.
So the next up we've got at our all-time low is a card that we've talked about multiple times, which is Scape Shift.
Remember when this card was a $40 card, Josh?
It was, yeah, I do remember that. So now it's down.
Card
to
is
13.
garbage. Don't play it.
Now it's down to $13. So you know
Bad.
it keeps on
Makes you
tricking
bad
down.
James
person.
Paul would tell you otherwise.
Yeah, and so that's it for our finance, man. I just
Didn't-
wanted to show a couple
Isn't
of
there
those
a-
cards.
Isn't there a little one-mana mana dork we should,
No, we're
At
not
least
going to
give
talk
it-
about Land of War.
We're not going to talk about the Llanowar
Do you
Elf?
want to talk about Land of War?
We should talk about the stupid
should talk
fucking
about the
Llanowar
fuck-
Elf.
talk about it.
Thank you, Chris. We should talk about the Llanowar
Why are you
Elf.
not going to talk about the Llanowar Elf?
That's fine. So over
One of
the
the
week,
dumbest
over the
MTG finance
over the
things
week?
I've ever seen.
Oh, you know what? Let's do it like this instead.
yeah, over the week there was a Land of War Elf spike, and it was just for one type of Land of War Elf,
Oops, I'm in
which
the wrong
was which Land of War Elf? Out of
The M19,
M19 Llanowar Elf, which was only in
the new player boxes.
New
the
player
new player
boxes.
box.
The new player deck. So when you go to like an open house or whatever, the 30 card decks, those
here it
things, in the green one, there's a Llanowar Elf, and it has the M19 symbol on it. And it's not printed in packs or anything like that. This was the only way to get a Llanowar Elf that had an M19 thing on it. And for whatever fucking reason, people thought it would be smart to actually pay some money for this card. And thank God that people are starting to get
It's actually
right
on
in
a
their
down
head.
tick now.
It should be
It
on a
was
down tick.
$20 when I seen it earlier
Because
today.
these exist everywhere. These are in Targets. These are in Walmarts. Don't shake your head at me. Yes, they are. These are in the new player decks that are being sold at the big box stores. Yes, they are. Go ahead. Use your words.
They're in the Planeswalker deck only. For Vivian Reed.
Well, then I was totally misled. Why didn't you say
They
something?
only have one print run, which is when the set first comes
So
out.
it's in the Planeswalker deck. It's not in the new
Vivian
players
Reed
deck.
Planeswalker.
Okay, I was
And
completely
the reason-
misinformed.
the
Did
reason
you hear at the
why
same
it
time?
got bought out is
I
because it
heard
has a
Planeswalker
rare
deck.
symbol on it for M19. If you look at it, it's gold.
No. No.
I think so.
No. Now, so there's some misinformation going around here now. We got some very...
goddamn conspiracy theory about Llanowar Elves.
When you look on TCG, does it show a gold border?
So
Not a gold
okay,
border.
so here's
You
what.
go ahead. You talk. I want to
Okay,
find this.
so here's what we
'Cause
want
I-
to talk
I-
about. First of all, this is something that is inherently wrong with the game. Period.
This
we
is a
don't-
joke. This is not a
Well,
real thing.
no, because there were people that were actually like, "Oh man, people are buying this. I should buy into this. I should spend
that was
$10."
dumb. That was dumb.
So we don't want people wasting their money. You know, there's 30 copies of fucking
This is not
Land
going to be a
Elves.
good way to look at this.
You know, So, just if you want a Land War elf,
Go get your game
get
day
you
promo
some
or
get you
whatever the
some
hell it
white
was.
border ones. Get you a Sharpie, or get the
Or you embrace the white border.
Yeah, or
with the horse head.
Yeah, you don't need to spend $10 on a Land War elf or $20 on a Land War elf. So that's pretty much basically what we want to talk about.
Right? Don't buy into this stupidity.
Don't waste your money on something silly like this. If you're out there and you're like, oh man, this Land War hype is sick. I got to get on this train. What's going on here? $20. I better get them while I can. Land War Elf got printed a lot, guys, so you don't have to worry about it.
It's in
The new.
it's in the intro decks that came with your stand for.
Yes, those are the new player.
Yeah.
Those are the new player decks. Those are the 30 card decks that people get.
So
But
you
you
got
can't get those at Walmart.
Yes, you can. Walmart. So that was a promotion that WPN announced going into this season that they were going to sell basically this kit that you could buy at Walmart's and I think Targets, and they were going to be $10. And people, the WPN members, got all pissy about it because they're like, "Why are you charging people $10 for this thing that we give away for free at LGSs? Why not instead just direct those people into an LGS?"
Nice.
That people got up in arms about that.
all right. So don't buy your Land War elves.
Don't buy this fucking Land War Elf. This is not cool enough, man.
The full art one.
There you go.
Can I go out this door?
Yes, you can.
So let's move on to local yokels. Let's wrap her up at the locals.
Local yokel.
All right, I gotta
I'm
close
local and
this.
yokel. You
I don't
wanna
have
do
a
both.
thing. I don't know. Local yokels. All right,
Boom.
you got it. Here we are. So
Wiki.
I don't think there's anything big. I think that this is the first weekend of the new PPTQ season, which means we immediately log in to our sheet that you can find in our
absolutely.
Facebook groups there.
Yep.
So we'll look at that.
And where can you find them Facebook groups?
You can find the Facebook groups. You go to Facebook and you start searching Michigan Modern Group is a great way to find it.
Yep.
You can also find it in my standard group. That's Pandemonium Standard Group. So there is only one this upcoming weekend. It is the first weekend of the new season.
Sealed.
Boys, why are you standing? Sit down.
Are you gonna make
Be humble.
Sit down, please.
You only can sit on your bum for so long.
I understand that, but you guys are bouncing around right in front of me. Please sit
So
down.
stomping ground.
Thank you. Stomping Ground games in Chesterfield, which is kind of thumbish area.
Do you have to shock to get there?
I don't understand. What's your joke?
It's the stomping ground.
Got it.
You gotta
Got
take
it.
2
Thank
damage
you,
to get
Richie.
there.
Thank you. You got me. You got me. Good one. Good. It is one of 2 sealed events this entire season for
Only
PPQs
2?
in
I wonder why there's only 2 sealed events.
because
That's
it's
crazy.
modern, and in Michigan,
It's
modern
modern.
is fucking amazing.
Yep.
It's
No.
fucking amazing. I'm so excited for GP Detroit, which
Are you
we'll talk
going
about.
to be trying to
down
get
here.
your hands in a couple of these PPTQs, Chris?
I'm gonna try. I have put together a deck that I have not played in a while.
Is it
Nope. I don't want people sitting across from me and immediately being like, "He's on that deck. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna throw this hand." Terminus off the top.
he might be trying to control with
Turn 2
It's
terminus.
Some
kind of
lanterns.
controlling. We'll say that.
Turn 2 terminus.
So
Terminus.
we'll pull this up and we'll talk about this, and then I'm going to talk about another list that I have here real quick. So we got Stomping Ground Games. We can go into their events page, and I believe they have one made for this. I remember seeing it.
Look at
PPQ
there.
Seal. There it is.
ain't that just the gosh darn thing?
They are so hyped for this one because they're like we're the only guys fucking doing sealed in Michigan, and
There's
they're
a
right.
big sealed crowd.
There
in
is a
Michigan,
large
too.
sealed crowd. This is true. So
Not as big of a modern crowd.
So tell your friends because there's going to be a bunch of them that are about modern, but there's going to be the few that are only about sealed. I have a handful of them that only want to hear about the sealed ones. Tell them so they go out and they do this event. $40 entry, core set 2019, it's, prize and draft, all that jazz. First is a booster box and $75 and the invite to the Pro Tour. This is all fine because your packs cost you money. The event costs you money. You know, the experience of it all costs you money, and then there's some decent prize here as well. 5th through 8 6-packs seems kind of weak, but you can play Pai Gow with this, and I'm all about Pai Gow now. Go look up Pai Gow.
It's cool.
Pie cow?
Pai Gow. P-A-I space G-O-W. Pai Gow.
Pai Gow.
I'll teach you. It's very fun. You'll enjoy it.
Can you teach me how to Dougie, though?
No, I can't, Dougie.
All right.
Maybe Nene.
Because
Anyways,
all the bitches don't love you.
this is he's so musical, this boy. So musical. It appears that I have lost one of my tabs, Josh, and I don't know how I managed to do it.
I can find you a tab.
How did I lose it? I don't know how I lost
not
it.
a
Anyways, I got my calendar here. As you can see, we got GP Sacramento. That's limited. And then we got Stomping Ground. Following it up, do I not have one the next weekend? I think that we don't. What the heck?
I'm sure it's just a nobody store anyways the next weekend.
There's nobody. This is the following weekend. Smart guy.
Damn it.
Nice try. Nice try to be a
I done
meme
played
lord
myself.
here. You got played. Got played. I don't know how I lost one of my tabs here, Josh, but I'm going to pull it up real fast for you.
It's all good, bud. You got this.
All right. So this is another calendar that is available in some groups, but is generally just kind of on people's phones. They just kind of tab it and stuff like that. This is the PPTQ and Open and GP, and this is like everything for the upcoming season that is put together by Alexander Smith in another group that I'm part of for Michigan TOs. And he's invited me to start working again on this kind of thing with him. So we're going to do some like resizing and move some stuff around and everything like that. But this is another great one. If you guys want, you can... they can't see that. I don't care about that. Anyways, this is a great way. This is coming to you soon. We're going to have all of this. We're going to have nice easy to click on tabs. We got all these different sweet, like,
we even have RPTQs
that's an
on
open.
there.
Yeah, that's the RPTQ weekend is this weekend and stuff like that. So Alex has put a bunch of work into this. I'm going to come in. I'm going to help him out with it.
Shout out to Alex.
Alexander Smith, happy day after your birthday now, sir. And that's that. That's that. The only other thing for local Yokers that I want to continue to press upon is that September 7th through the 9th is GP Detroit.
So
Team Modern.
Okay, so now
Are you gonna be playing,
we're
Chris?
super excited about it.
We'll talk about that.
Richie said today that that it opened up for registration.
Richie didn't say that. Well, he said it because he saw that I had brought it up because
seen it?
I look into
Nice.
it
Good. So
every
yeah,
week.
I
so
seen it with my eye
if you
holes.
got your team and you are a Michigander, and you use the mitten to say, "Hey, I'm from here,"
Got my team locked.
then lock your team up and get signed up. Cause
If you
Do you got a team, Josh? Are you gonna be playing? Or
I do. Yeah, it's gonna be me, my brother, and the guy that works with us, Al.
Oh, all right.
Oh, that's cool.
What
That's
a
cool.
team.
That's cool. If you don't have your team yet, you need to get started on that. Seriously, because figuring out exactly what everybody's going to play and make sure that all your cards are not going to cover each other, it's extremely important. It's time consuming. You need to get on this now. And again, registration is open, so you can do it right away.
Ooh, those mats is
This
good.
says Team
I
Modern
think I'm
main
sick.
event, $70.
$70. That's a lot.
That's for
That's a
the
player.
Is that a player?
That is a player.
Oh, that's a little expensive then.
Baby.
Entry to the Grand Prix Detroit Team Modern event Saturday, Sunday exclusive promo Mutavault.
What's 7 times 3?
That's a lot.
That's
$210.
2100.
That's a lot of dollars.
That doesn't make sense. Are you sure, Richie?
I'm almost certain.
That's how it's been on every team event.
What are you? You're
I
just
don't know.
moving your finger around. You're not
I
saying anything.
I saw admit one, but
It does say admit one. That's really fucking
The
steep.
way SCG does it is you sign up by yourselves, then you'll get an email to group up as your team, pretty much.
shit, charge me double.
I mean, a lot of GPs already on your
I'm
own
ready.
are
I'm ready
like
for Detroit.
somewhere between $60 and $80, depending on where you're
I'm-
playing and what you're
I'm
playing.
way-
Right?
I'm way
so that's
ready
not
for
that's
Detroit.
not too bad then, right?
No.
That's fine.
They are kind of chimping out on what
On
you
what
get
you're
with
getting.
your packages, but
You're gonna have to cut.
That's what happens when you get
knitting
a
class that
monopoly.
month.
I'm going to sorry what?
You're gonna have to cut knitting class or ballet that month.
You're such a
just not
smart
gonna be
ass.
able
You're
to-
just such a smart ass.
You can't afford
He
all.
just-
Registration is open. Go and do it.
he just
Please
can't
go
take
do
care
it.
of his lawn as much.
There's a BNR update before then. Remember that.
There is a
Oh,
ban restricted.
baby.
You're still not getting Stoneforge Mystics. Do not buy Stoneforge
We're getting them
Mystics.
Stoneforge Mystics.
Do not buy your Stoneforge
Brandon
Mystics.
Stuck will play
so. You're
Stoneforge
not
if it gets
getting
unbanned.
When are you getting a BNR?
After the Pro Tour, bud.
You're not gonna get Stoneforge Mystic. Do not spend your money on Stoneforge Mystic right now.
Grave Troll unbanned.
You're not getting Grave Troll
What?
either.
All right, so we're mixed right now. What's your opinion? Stoneforge, are we getting it? Are we not? Be our divider.
The next BNR before GP Detroit.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
But
Because
I
there's
said-
also a Pro Tour in there that has modern on
when
it.
people were talking about banning Deathrite, I was just like, you just lightning bolt that thing. And then they were like, yeah. And then I was like, You just path. You
Bolt
can just,
a bird.
Yeah, you can just swords that thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, and then I was like, I would just chain lightning if I had to. And then I was like, if times got hard, I would just fire blast the fuck out of that thing. And then they banned it. So what the fuck do I know? So I don't know. Maybe I'm not the divider.
I think Deathrite could have gone either way. I'm fine with that. Stoneforge, you're not getting.
I think it needed to
You're
go.
not
I
getting-
think it was a bad time.
Are you on the? We're getting Stoneforge at the next BNR.
I am shocked we
he
didn't
is.
get Stoneforge this BNR.
I'm actually shocked too.
I'm also surprised we didn't get a banning in
We
something
both said
from
no,
KCI.
But I thought we were gonna get it now. So like after the Pro Tour.
You're not getting Pro Tours that are about to be shaken up like that. They're not doing that anymore.
Look at Legacy.
Who cares about that?
Who cares? Everybody. That is the format that will
That is the format.
arguably
Richie.
be most
Actually
watched
talking
the
about.
most.
Richie, going to the Pro Tour, you're going to see Legacy. Maybe 2 rounds is the starting match. They're not focusing on Legacy. Not for coverage.
We'll see.
You don't sound too confident now that I said that. You're like,
No, I am, and I don't.
Oh, I still got the finance thing up.
I think
Why you
we
guys let me do
will
this?
because it's the shaken up format. It's the format that has the most innovation in it right now, and it's the format that people are like, I don't know what's gonna happen. We should check out Legacy. I don't give a shit that Black Red's still doing good.
It's a format.
I don't give a shit that Modern didn't change. What's this? You banned the literal most played card in Legacy above, or except for Brainstorm
it's
or Force
the
of Will?
format that everyone.
Sign me up. I'm in.
Thank you for telling me your life story. It is the format where everyone is just like, well, now we're going to start show and telling.
It isn't though. Look at
So the results that we've shown today have not been so show and telly, but
We
the
haven't had a lot
results
of
from
data
like
yet.
there's been a lot of 5-0 show and tell kind of stuff.
Are we gonna listen to every 5-0, Chris?
No, because a 5-0 is not how a GP is going to go. This is also a team event. So
This is also not the PT.
we are talking about the PT.
No, I know we're talking about the PT, but these results are not the PT. These results aren't going to show what the PT will show.
But the PT is
Because you got to think, the
listen,
PT,
listen,
they're
listen.
a whole nother caliber of players.
Pro Tours, people need to understand this. Pro Tours for format understanding are bullshit because they are split format events. Split format events do not tell you
There's
the
no limited at
longevity.
this format. There's no limited at this Pro Tour.
Period.
This Pro Tour is all constructed.
But it's team.
Yes.
Still bullshit. Richie, you know it's true. Like your legacy player could go undefeated every single time, and then your standard modern player just gets shit on. You're never going to see the legacy deck.
Sure.
To me every time.
Happens.
I'm
it happens
willing-
to me at the Pro Tour.
I'm willing
all the
to
time,
admit
too.
that.
That's what I'm saying. If you want results-oriented thinking for an actual format, you need it to be a standalone legacy format. And it can't be 5 rounds. 5 rounds is just not enough to get good evidence, good
Agreed.
data. So that's what I have to say about it.
That's all I got to say about
But-
that.
The people are going to want to tune in for Legacy because it is the format with the most shake-up that will also show the most on top of everything.
All right, Richie, let's go get some pancakes
I like some pancakes.
and eggs. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in this week. Glad we had Richie's Stay Puft Marshmallow ass here. It was a good time. He dabbed all over you
That was
guys.
good timing, Chris.
Thanks,
We
bro.
were able to.
I was ready for
we were
it.
able to
I
drink
knew
some
it was
beers.
coming.
Not in a white cup this
First time.
Hey, what are
Yeah,
you talking
we-
about?
we-
Those that was water in those cups.
You know, in the words of Abe, you know, we were able to bring our beers out of the closet.
Nice.
So cheers.
Cheers.
All right, guys. We'll see you next Wednesday at 1:30 on Magic Afternoon. If you don't catch us at Magic After Dark.
Smell you later, nerds.
For Magic After Dark, I've been Chris. This is Josh. Good night, Richie.
Good night.